too loud? Are people able to see the stream okay? I know it's been 5 minutes since I started, but normally I always gotta make sure things are okay. And I also like to give this much time so that if the internet hiccups are to happen at some point, I'd rather it be now. By the way, I'm also streaming this after Kappa has invaded the YouTube space. So far my stream health has been good, which is great. I'm actually very nervous. I mean, it's been 6 months since I last streamed, and even then, it's been almost a year since I last played something. We'll probably get started in a little bit, but for now, let's just, let me just explain what's been happening the last 6 months. So, last time I streamed, it was during October, and that was for... Okay. Doing, what would it call it? Like a watch through, I guess? A watch through of the first three Fatal Frame games. There we go. Wow, I can't speak today. And I planned on doing the 4th game, but what happened is that I got burnt out. I got burnt out because on the last part of Fatal Frame 3, I got internet hiccups all around. So, and that just killed me. So, yeah, that's why there wasn't a Fatal Frame 4 watch through stream. So then after that, I planned on coming back. I planned on taking a break. Not as long as this one, but shit happens. And basically what happened is that December I was planning on coming back at some point. I didn't know what, but at some point with Your Turn to Die or Kimi ga Shine. I didn't know what day. I just knew I was gonna come back. But then towards Christmas, December 22nd, I mentioned in the first Fatal Frame stream, Fatal Frame 1, that I had recently lost my dog of 4 years, I believe. And basically what happens is that December 22nd, my brother decides to get a puppy. And that happened. So yeah, that happened. A 6-week-old puppy. So that's where a lot of time went to, was just because what was happening is that obviously people were off for Christmas break and all that, but then after that, when things were going back to normal, my father and brother are both work. I'm the only one who stays at home, and basically they work 8-hour shifts for 5 days out of the week. And the thing is that thing is that during those days that they're at work, I'm at home watching Airi, this puppy. Her name is Layla, and she is a husky pit bull mix. She'll be turning 6 months old on May 4th. But anyway, so she has been taking up a lot of my attention and time. And believe me, by the time I finally get to have some time to myself, which is usually whenever one of them comes home at 8 or mainly 10, I was exhausted. So that's where a lot of my time went. And then of course, was it March? It was March. YouTube doesn't like this word, but fuck them. The corona happened. March, almost 2 months ago. The corona happened. I don't think anyone even watching this, regardless if it's now or in the future, will not know what the corona is. But the corona is currently setting the world ablaze. I mean, I know that Australia was on fire for the beginning of the year, which thankfully, fuckingly, they're not on fire anymore. But yeah, we are now in the midst of a pandemic, which sucks. I mean, for people who are wondering, I'm fine. I have, so far, the town I live in hasn't been affected by the corona too badly. Like, a few people have gotten infected, and by few I mean 3 people. Yes, our town is that small. We've been doing fine. I haven't, like, mainly it's just been pretty normal here, except for the panic buyers and the, you know, and just the rest of the world. Like, basically, we're not on quarantine yet. I don't know if we'll ever get to that point, but we are at the stage of, we can't go inside restaurants. They're encouraging us to stay at home, to social distance, but no one seems to give a shit about that. But I'm fine. We're fine. I don't know when the corona will, I don't want to say be over, because who knows when it'll be over, you know what I mean? But I don't know when the corona will calm down. I think that's a better set of words, is calm down. But hopefully, people are, you know, practicing hygiene, because God knows our government isn't. Yes, shit hit the fan. But basically, I wanted this stream to be about Your Turn to Die. However, because the corona happened before I was able to get to this, I was thinking, what can I do? Because, don't get me wrong, I'm still planning on playing Your Turn to Die. That's still on the top of my list. But I wanted to take everyone's minds off of the chaos that is the world. You know. So I was like, what can I play? Because I'm poor and I still don't have any of the games I want to play on my wish list. But then a video popped up in my subscription feed about this game called Without a Voice, and I think what immediately turned me to it was the fact that it was about 2 girls and a possibly budding romance, and I was just like, yep, okay. I wasn't sure if I was gonna play it, but then after I saw how, like, different it was from other visual novels, yes, it is a visual novel, so unfortunately you're having to deal with me just voice acting yet again. I didn't get very far. I think I got like 20-25 minutes into it, and it was an hour-long video, so I was just like, okay, I need to stop here and stream this on my own, or play this on my own, whatever, because I want to play this. But then a couple weeks, I think, before the stream, I looked up to see if the video was still up. The video was removed, and I'm just like, uh-oh. Excuse me. I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. But, because I know there are some companies out there that, are very protective of their works. So they may have, so I was thinking, like, did someone from the company reach out to this person and ask him to take down the video so that, people would play the game? And because, the game released on Steam, it's free to play, by the way, you can find it on Steam, and you don't have to pay any money for it, but, it came out on March 25th, so it's been a month after its release. And the video came out, I think, 5 days after, so not even a week after its release. So that's why I was thinking, did they remove it so that, people could play it? But I looked up yesterday to see, like, okay, am I gonna get in trouble for streaming this? And there are a couple videos of it up online, up on YouTube. So I think I'm good. I don't know. But you know what? I like to play risky, so... But, I know I don't have the game link in the description, but I think after I finish the stream tonight, I'll edit it to where I'll have it in the description. But as I said, you can just find this game up on Steam for free. From what I heard, it's not very long. It's only... because there's 8 endings. But it's not very long. Like, I think some people said that each route to that ending is like 45 minutes roughly, so it's not that long. Which makes me think I may be able to finish it in this stream. But on the off chance I don't, I'm gonna play the rest of it on a second stream. Don't know when yet, but it'll be really soon after this one. I also have a different setup going on, like, I switched out my chair. I didn't get rid of it. I switched out my chair for a simple dining room chair because I don't think anyone wants to keep hearing me shuffle around in my very squeaky, very creaky chair. So I'm in just a simple chair. It doesn't move, unfortunately, but I did put a pillow in its Also, everyone who has watched one of these streams before knows that there's gonna be internet hiccups. Everyone knows that. And for some reason they always occur at around 10 o'clock my time. So, if any internet hiccups happen, expect it to be around 10 o'clock, and expect them to take 10 to 20 minutes to fix themselves. I mean, I'll be very surprised if that doesn't happen, but speaking of which, at 10 o'clock I'm also going to be putting the puppy to bed, because it's her bedtime, and I'm usually the one who puts her to bed anyway, so I'll be gone for a little bit for that. But, other than that, I think we're about ready to go. By the way, I know people are gonna be wondering, like, why are you playing this song? It's like, it's the only non-copyrighted music that I like that would also feature that also kind of features, like, I know it's a headcanon, but, like, also features, like, a girl-loving girl. If anyone's ever played Pokemon Sun and Moon, it's Lily. But anyway, so I'm just gonna check some stuff real quick. Hopefully these streams do. Hopefully the stream is good. How should I put this? Like, can people hear me over the music? Because I can't check that shit out without going to my phone. And YouTube app on phone is very weird. So it should be fine. Okay, let's shut down Chrome. Okay. Okay, so I'll turn down the background music a little bit. Okay. Alright, let's open up the game here. I should have checked this before. I should have... Well, shit, I gotta update Steam again. That is... Okay. While we're waiting... Apparently I am just unlucky when it comes to Steam, because it seems like every time I have to open up a Steam game, it always has to update. Does Steam come out with updates like every 2 days or something? Because, this has been a constant in all my live streams. It's like, if I'm playing a game off of Steam, it has to be updated. Because, who knows? Okay, let me just get the, text down, because we're not listening to music anymore. Oh, I also wanted to bring up something. Apparently, today, March 26th, is Lesbian Visibility Day. And this stream is of... I don't want to classify the two girls in this visual novel as lesbians, because there's plenty of women-loving women people that don't identify as lesbian. What the fuck? Why am I being connected to my friends network? I only have one friend on Steam, and we don't play any games together. There we go. There's Without a Voice. No. There we are. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, there we go. I was like, please fix itself. Alright, I know you're not seeing the game right now. Okay. Alright, can you see the game okay? I have the resolution set to 480p to make it easy on my computer, laptop. Oh my god, if I was streaming this on my laptop, this would be hell. But, as I was saying, to make it easy on my computer and my internet, and 480 is probably the lowest I'll go before I get frustrated. What, the game or the quality? I know what I know what your username is supposed to be, but I'm just gonna call you Freedy. Okay. Like, I will admit, it's very colorful. What else? Oh, I remember what I was talking about. But yeah, today is Lesbian Visibility Day, and I didn't expect to be streaming this game today. Like, that, it was completely coincidental. like, because I was actually planning on streaming this last week, but basically by the time I got around to deciding that, it was already Saturday, and I was just not going to have enough time to get everything set up and to prepare myself, so I decided next week. But still, I mean, it is very ironic that I play this game on today. Again, coincidental. I'm hoping this doesn't end, well, because the last foray we had into a visual novel that featured two girls being romantic with each other was Carmilla, and that didn't end very well. I'm not gonna say it ended in a bury your gays trope, because technically we don't even know if the main character or the other girl were gay. And it was very ambiguous as to whether or not it was real. But I'm hoping this game ends better. And, with both of the girls living and becoming girlfriends and being very cute together, as opposed to one of them dead and the other swearing off that time completely. Alright, so the weird thing about this game is that, like, okay, so the funny thing is, like, for some reason, you have to right-click in order to get out of these menus. Now, you see these extras here. Oh, there's an art book! Okay. Alright, so Without a Voice. Let's just go over this real quick. Without a Voice is a Yuri visual novel released by indie dev group L Cubed? It's either L to the third power, L3, or L Cubed. L Cubed is a team comprised of Lore, who handles all the writing, Lonnie, who handles all the visuals, and Lyska, who handles the editing. Originally planned for Yuri Game Jam 2016, I'm assuming that's supposed to be It fell a little behind schedule and is finally completed in 2020. If you're interested in more information about the game, we have an art book available on our page on itch.io and has DLC on Steam for $5. The music is all composed by Exile? The extras menu, CG animations, and a ton of other bonuses were programmed by Minute, published by Bell House Studio Elan, lovingly created with Rempe with this version. This program contains free software under a number of licenses, including the MIT license and GNU Lesser General Public license. A complete list of software, blah blah blah. Thanks so much for playing. If you can, please shoot us some feedback by reaching out on social media or leaving a comment on the itch.io page. I didn't know that. Okay. So what is the company? We are writer-programmer Lorelei, artist/designer Lanissa? I'm sorry for pronouncing your name wrong. And writer/editor Lyska, let's see, Lanissa, guess doesn't have any contact. Lyska is at, I'm assuming that's supposed to be a Twitter, handle. Whoa. Oh, my computer's going crazy. So you can reach Lyska at oh dear. That's Twitter handle, and you can see their portfolio. Lorelei on Twitter at Yandere. That already kind of sends me some things, but I'm not gonna let that affect it. For this game, Addie did the UI design, created all the art, and programmed some of the UI screens. Lore did the main story concept, writing and programming/directing. Lyska did script editing and testing. What's the art book? Oh, okay. The Without a Voice art book is available for purchase on itch.io with a minimum $5 payment and as DLC on Steam. You know, speaking of which, if they're offering an art book for $5, that's a fucking steal. Within, you'll find concept art, developer commentary, and an ending guide. Please consider supporting us by picking up a copy. While the game is free, any and all support is truly appreciated. Thank you. And that's why I'm saying go help them out. As I said, there are 8 endings. You get characters, music. Oh, there's 17 tracks. Did not know that. And there are 4 pages of CGs. Alright. Are we ready to start? Alright. Oh yeah, there's also content warning. Please note the following game contains disturbing themes and explicit content. This list is in no way exhaustive or complete, and not everything on this list is present in every playthrough. Please exercise caution while playing. It contains violence, graphic depictions of death and gore, homophobia, incestophilia, and codependency. Now, from what I remember looking this up on the Steam page, and the good thing is that you're not going to see any CGs of this. Like, a lot of these content warnings are mainly in the text, which is good. But just in case, here are the trigger warnings for this. I really hope that the incest isn't graphic. But it makes me, but still, that's what we can do. Alright. Gonna prepare myself. Alright. When cold, cruel destiny has thee within her grasp, thou may endeavor bravely, dear, to change thy path. But fate cares not which twisted road you choose to take. You dance atop her palm with airy choice you make. Day 1. This is a very nice background. It was a morning like any other. The tragedy soon to unfold would affect so few people that time would swiftly forget it. For those involved, however, that morning was a maelstrom, drawing them each in, closer and closer still. It all began innocently enough, with a certain exiled princess in a terrible predicament.
Oh dear, I've run out of firewood.
Cassidy.
If only I noticed yesterday. This has caught me quite unawares.
The ex-princess in question was named Cassidy, and she was the eldest child of the kingdom of Veromir. Veromir, who knows? What's that, you say? You've never heard of Veromir? One shouldn't be surprised. This all happened long before this universe summoned you into existence.
The next shipment isn't due for a little while yet. But I cannot wait. I won't be able to cook or do laundry without a fire.
So long had the princess been living in this cottage alone that she'd taken to talking to herself, just to feel less lonely. Determined to gather some wood before sundown, Cassidy grabbed a hatchet and some linen, and then quitted the place. I will admit, I love this kind of house. It's like a witch's house. Once outside, she paused, considering for the umpteenth time whether it would be best for her to lock the door.
No one will come in. No one will come in anyway. My brother's agents never enter, and no one else travels this deep into the wood.
Convincing herself so, Cassidy turned away and headed into the forest to begin her mission. You know, I know that I live in a town where people don't lock their doors. But still lock your doors. You never know. Unfortunately, her determination and willpower were short-lived.
As I thought, firewood isn't just lying on the ground just waiting to be picked up.
Though she'd brought the hatchet, she'd foolishly hoped she wouldn't have to use it. Faced with so many different types of trees, most of them quite large, she was unsure how to proceed.
Now that I think about it, how much firewood do I usually use at once? Oh, the more I try to remember, the more addled I get.
Exactly. Safety is better.
Perhaps I'll just subsist on fruits and fungus until the next crate arrives.
A timely stomach grump quickly put a stop to such plans. Cassidy let out a sigh.
For now then, I shall return to my favorite place. It always brings me peace. That place holds some magic, I've always felt. I'm sure I shall be able to think of something once I'm there.
Her spirit restored, Cassidy hefted her linen satchel a little higher.
It was not long until she would be comfortable again, she thought. Why, you're as radiant as ever. There were many views to take pleasure in this forest, but this one in particular always brought her delight. God, I will admit, like, this is very colorful. You get what I mean? Though she had lived here now for some seasons, the tree before her seemed never to change. I don't know much about wisteria. Are they meant to stay in bloom year-round? Perhaps the winters here are mild. Wisteria shall wither not when flakes of winter fall. Yet all must someday perish while heeding nature's call. But nature wields not power o'er us all. A clear wind chime voice caught Cassidy's attention. Cassidy's heart stuck in her throat as she followed the sound and caught sight of the woman sitting there. I'm not gonna lie, like, she kind of looks like, I don't know why I feel like she'd be like a Greek goddess. I don't know how to explain it. Like, she looks like a modern Greek goddess. Maybe it's Aphrodite, but not Aphrodite. There is a goddess that is of nature. Is it Hera? Is it Hera? I think it is. I don't know much about Greeks. She had never before seen a woman so breathtakingly beautiful. Wow. I mean, same. Okay. My apologies for interrupting your poem, madam. It was only a couplet. You did not interrupt so much as improve it.
Yeah, the art's really beautiful.
Oh, then all the better. But it is not safe to be so deep in the wood. Tarry not. I live here. It is quite safe, I assure you. I dare say I have lived here much longer than you have. No harm has ever come to me in these woods. Perhaps our experiences merely differ. Certainly. I concede your point. Cassidy paused a long while, unsure of how to carry on the conversation. How strange. I used to make small talk with all the courtiers as if it were nothing. Has time truly affected me so? You say you live here? I do. I've never seen you. I'm quite sure of it. I would remember someone like you. Whereabouts do you live, if you don't mind my asking? Hardly a stone's throw from where we now stand. A stone's throw?
Ooh. How can that be? That is highly suspect. The problem is that I usually do these visual novels with a guy, but this is my first time actually playing through a novel without one, so... Let's go with... How can that be?
I suppose she does not wish to expose where she lives to an utter stranger. That's reasonable. She seems to be quite on her guard. I envy your view of this lovely place. Do not envy me. What could that mean? How droll. Oh, where are my manners? My name is Cassidy. I too live nearby.
You may call me Elowen.
Elowen. What a lovely name.
Besides, I was already aware that you live nearby.
What? How?
I've seen you before, albeit from a distance. You come here often.
Oh dear, I must have been making a complete fool of myself. I'm sorry that you've had to witness that.
Cassidy thought back to all the complaining she'd done under this tree. And all the time she'd sullied herself trying to gather fruit. There were many other, truly mortifying memories. She stared at the ground in shame.
Aw. When she looked up, however, Elowen was smiling. Cassidy felt her tension wane. So what brings you back to this place? I wanted to calm myself. Calm yourself? What for? What could possibly cause you distress? What a sour tone. Does she think I just daydream and laze about all day? Many things. I'll have you know that at this very minute, I am on a mission that might mean the difference between life and death. Oh, and yet you dally here. What could this mission involve, pray tell? I see my presence is not wanted here. I shall return to my search forthwith. Just as she was about to turn away and leave Elowen in the wisteria tree behind. Oh, I must have picked a choice that the guy I watched didn't pick by accident. Cassidy heard Elowen laugh softly. It was a bewitching sound. Yeah, I'm wondering if the people who wrote this are also women into women. I see I have offended milady. No offense was meant, I can assure. Really? Truly, I would never wish to cause you pain. Tell me of your mission. I've run out of firewood. Upon hearing this, Elowen stood up and dusted herself off. Allow me to be of service. Oh no, I couldn't possibly Please, this tree suffers so much every time you shed your tears and frustration upon it. Yet, despite her abrasive words, Elowen was tirelessly helpful. It was she who taught Cassidy to gather smaller bits of kindling, and to use the hatchet when that proved insufficient. If you wrap these smaller branches together, they shall burn just fine. I see. Oh, I'm certainly glad not to have I'm certainly glad not to have to chop down a whole tree. I was worried about that. Yes, once felled, a tree can never rise again. Take of them their fruit, their branches, but spare them their roots and lifeblood. Lifeblood? Do trees have blood? No, Cassidy. This forest is quite old, you know. I wish it would stay forever this way, but man has trouble leaving things be. Don't we know it? The disparity between Elowen's indifferent expression and the biting tone of her voice made Cassidy's heart ache. Another choice. She must have had a bad experience, or she must love trees. Can I save? Yes. Okay. Let's save. Oh yeah. I was like, Sunday. Okay. Let's do She Must Love Trees. I agree. Nature is wonderful, isn't it? At times it can be. This is rather awkward. What did she mean by that? The two continued through the forest, gathering wood and passing the time with easy conversation. As they walked leisurely, the sun began to sink. So too did the satchel of wood over Cassidy's shoulders sag. It seems that you've gathered plenty of wood now. Surely that will be enough. God, it's been so long since I've watched Steven Universe. I mean, the last time I still have to watch the movie. Ah, you're right. The time had quite gotten away from the exiled princess. Now that their afternoon together... Okay, I need to reread that. Now that their afternoon together was coming to an end, Cassidy was... afraid. Afraid and hopeful, which was perhaps more dangerous still. Then,
"Excuse me, Miss Elowen."
"Yes?"
"Might we meet again?"
Aw, I want to meet this beautiful woman of the woods.
"You have no idea how happy I am to meet another person living in this wood. And a woman at that."
Oh my gosh.
"And a woman."
Yet the expression on Elowen's face showed that she had, in fact, some idea. I was about to suggest the same. You might find me in this area most afternoons.
"I see. Then, until tomorrow."
Would that we meet so soon, my lady?" With that, Elowen bowed and left.
Her steps make almost no sound. What a graceful woman.
Oh my god. This is already so gay, and I love it. Like, she's even blushing, too.
Not just beautiful, but elegant. And smart.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. I do not read a lot of, like, women loving women content. And so this is just, like, this is good. As she walked back to her cottage, so filled with thoughts of Elowen was her head. Oh, wow. That Cassidy forgot all about her fatigue and the weight of her burden.
She certainly is opinionated, but she must have so much more experience living independently than I. I hope I'm not a bother to her.
And with that, the once princess returned home, blissfully unaware of the roots that were this very moment grabbing hold of her heels and pulling her beneath. It is said a fool repeats his days, changing not, but expecting change. I posit these men are by routine hogtied. They expect not and are by naught satisfied. Day 2. There is a sort of melancholy one feels when closing a book for the final time. Feeling its last words wash over you as you leave its world and return to your own life. It was an ennui that Cassidy had grown used to. In her former life, she had received the best education that money and bribery might buy. Now, that bright mind was left to languish, fed by nothing more than a single new book each fortnight. By now, Cassidy was in the habit of reading very slowly indeed. She shut her latest tome and placed it upon the table, next to her half-written letter to her brother.
I never sound quite myself in these letters.
Alright, so this is all new content to me.
How do you write from a distance to one whom you once saw daily? And how do you write anything at all when your life has grown so dull?
She decided to pen a few more sentences on how moved she felt after reading the book, and how profoundly distressed she was by the ending of it.
Family is important, but so too is recognizing the value of what you have before it is too late. If only the king had realized what a wonderful daughter he had. And I hope that you realize how much you are loved by me, your one and only sister.
Yeah, it's very sophisticated English. She paused, overcome by sheer feeling, and decided to keep that final bit to herself. It was too desperate for comfort, and princesses did not... Whinge? Wine? Is that supposed to be wine but sophisticated? Whinge? So.
No, that won't do at all. How unbecoming.
With a sigh, Cassidy stared at the crackling fire. She had more than enough firewood now to last until her next shipment of it. The sight reminded her of Elowen.
I wonder what Elowen is doing at this very moment.
She could not fathom. The day-to-day life of such a mysterious personage was utterly beyond her imagination. Her curiosity so engaged, it was now impossible to ignore. And so, the fair Cassidy resolved herself to take a walk and casually seek the other woman out. God, this is gay.
Where is she? Perhaps I'll even stumble across where she lives today. Wouldn't it be exciting to surprise her at her home?
Thinking nothing at all of how inconvenient, how overly forward and impertinent it might be, she departed immediately. I mean, you see a beautiful woman, would you do that too? Once outside, Cassidy took in a deep lungful of crisp forest air.
How lovely it is today. Hardly a cloud in the sky.
She took measured steps into the forest, constantly scanning the area around her, on the lookout for this elusive domicile? Okay?
Might Elowen live in a cottage like mine? She is so elegant. I cannot imagine her doing housework.
Then again, I could hardly imagine myself doing housework not so long ago.
Oh, how times change a person.
Cassidy reached her beloved wisteria tree before long and eagerly drank in the sight of it. She ran up to the tree and encircled it with her arms, as if meaning to embrace it. I kind of wonder if Elowen's like a spirit of the trees, like she's like, how do I put this? Like, she's like a dryad from D&D, except not covered in bark. But then again, that might also make her a little bit better.
Hello, dear tree. You're looking as lovely as ever today, though a certain someone sits not beneath your boughs this afternoon.
Oh my god, she is just like... She has a crush on this woman! She leaned to one side and then another, looking around the tree and into the forest. And into the forest to see if she might spy a window or the billowing of chimney smoke. Like, I never watched the Lorax. I only vaguely remember, like, hearing the audiobook. Sadly, she can make out only more trees.
I can't suppose that Elowen lives in the tree house, does she?
Certainly not. Oh! Just pops up. Oh, that was a little bit of... That was weird.
Oh!
Startled, Cassidy jumped, her foot catching unhappily on one of the tree's roots, sending her flailing forward. Careful! Elowen's arm shot out at once, her vice-like grip snaring the once princess just in time. Elowen's touch was so cold, yet her movements decisive. Cassidy's heart raced. Wow.
Was she...
Oh my god, I can't.
Was she truly worried for me?
Wow. Like... Oh wow, that this is speaking like a woman. This is speaking as if a woman already developed a crush on another and hasn't realized it yet. It took Cassidy several moments to regain her composure. Elowen too looked a bit shaken.
Thank goodness you arrived when you did. Though, truth be told, if you hadn't startled me so, I would not have fallen.
Is that so?
I shall endeavor to be less frightening in future, then. Oh dear, she may have mistaken my meaning. I was only trying to cover up my embarrassment.
I'm gonna save here just in case. Yeah, it's just like... It's just like, my god. Let's go, that's not necessary. Yeah, it's really cute.
I don't understand what you mean. I certainly don't think you're frightening. Oh, your earlier words seem to suggest otherwise. I was merely... Oh, never mind. How confusing you are. Still, how curious it is for us to be meeting here again. You come here often. I live nearby. What is curious about it? I'm merely saying that it's serendipitous. It must be fate. Fate has nothing to do with it, I assure you. Oh, but it's so much more romantic to think of it as fate.
I feel like my voices for these characters are changing, and I'm not trying to do that. It's hard for me to stay consistent.
I can think of nothing less romantic than fate. Perhaps this is something not yet possible for you to understand. Don't speak as though you're much older and wiser than me. Elowen laughed a little. How old are you anyway? How old do you think? Cassidy stared at Elowen, gazing deeply into her eyes. Gazing deeply into her eyes, as if she might find the other woman's secrets there. Older than I first thought, perhaps.
Actually, now that they're bringing it up, I'm hoping these two are of age.
A wise answer.
I'd assume they are.
Elowen tipped her head slightly, the motion seeming to indicate a desire to walk on. Cassidy was only too happy to comply. Together the two...
Okay, that's a typo right there.
Together the two women strolled. Their time together was marked by companionable silence. Cassidy, never before a quiet girl, was desperate to fill it, but what conversation might pique Elowen's interest was unclear. She peered shyly at... Excuse me. She peered shyly at Elowen's face in profile. So striking and noble did it seem. She has the air of an aristocrat. What could someone like she be doing living in the forest? Then again, am I not in the same position? Perhaps it's something she finds difficult to speak of. An icy gust of wind whistled through the clearing, causing Cassidy to shiver and rub her bare arms. The sun will be setting soon, and it will grow colder. Perhaps you should... It was then that the question Cassidy had been ruminating on over all afternoon burst forth. Would you like to come to my cottage?
Okay! Excuse me.
Elowen appeared quite overcome.
That is very forward.
Is that... wise? Whatever do you mean? How can you extend such an invitation to one such as me, whom you hardly know? You are entirely too trusting. I'm surprised at you. Two solitary women ought to stick together out in these wilds. Besides, who else have I to invite? That is, I sometimes feel quite lonely out here. Don't you? Excuse me. Elowen turned her head slightly and gazed into the forest behind them, as if peering at something only she could see. Loneliness, then. I see. Very well. I will take you up on your offer.
Yeah, that's spiking courage. Man, that, like, I would not, like... I guess, like, it's one thing, like, if you're out on a date, you know, and your date has to take you home. But this is not in modern times.
Though puzzled by Elowen's hesitation, Cassidy was overjoyed that her invitation had been accepted. There was a spring in her step as she led the other woman to her home. Yay! It was only in front of the cottage that Cassidy suddenly understood what an impetuous thing it was that she was doing. Is the house clean enough? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just like, I don't read this shit enough. Is the house clean enough? She could not seem to recall when she had last swept or aired out her bedding. Is this where you live? Yes. It's charming. Thank you. I wish I could take more credit for that. The house was here long before I arrived. Even the furniture is not truly my own. Still, it suits you. Thank you. Bolstered by Elowen's reaction, Cassidy finally gained the courage to follow through. She opened the door wide, gesturing for the other woman to enter. It is quite spacious. You live here alone? That's right. It's not so bad. I don't have anyone to tell me what to do or where to go. I have a freedom now that I'd never known before. Perhaps, but sometimes I believe that being tied down to something is easier. If you don't realize you're being strangled, it's just a pleasant, lightheaded feeling. I don't really understand. It's alright if you don't. Elowen walked slowly from one part of the room to the next, her fingertips ghosting over every surface. She looked to be seeking the essence of each object, taking in every minute... taking in every minute flaw and deciphering its true nature. Cassidy wondered what Elowen might discover about her, if only she allowed it, if only she dared. It was unbearably quiet. Just then, Elowen came across the book Cassidy had finished reading. Oh, that's a book my brother sent to me. I get so frightfully bored here that these books have become my sanctuary. I'm expecting a new shipment soon. Your brother? Elowen was silent for a time, digesting that new information. And then her eyes fell on the half-finished letter haphazardly placed next to the book. Cassidy followed her gaze. Eyes wide, she leapt forward to snatch the letter away. How much had the other woman seen? She colored in mortification. Your brother is far away from here. Yes. Is it beautiful, the place where you once both lived? I have not once seen its equal. More beautiful than this cottage prison of yours. Cassidy could not hide her surprise at Elowen's poisonous choice of words, nor could she hide her sudden tears. Aww! Excuse me, or it's not like that. I'm gonna go with it's not like that, maybe give the benefit of the doubt. She dried her eyes delicately, but with determination. Now was not the time for tears. Things are complicated. It is not as clear-cut as you seem to believe. Undoubtedly, the affairs of men oft are. However, all that I need to know is that he is there and you are here. That he is responsible for that difference can be inferred quite easily. You're a fast reader to be able to jump to such conclusions so swiftly. I'm not unhappy here, Elowen. Can you say that truly, with an unclouded heart? Elowen peered into Cassidy's eyes, and their gazes held, like two magnets, pulling each other in closer and closer still. Yet Cassidy could not do it. She could not look Elowen in the eye and tell an untruth. Elowen looked to the window. It has gotten dark.
Oh my! How rude of me. I haven't offered you tea or any refreshment.
Do not trouble yourself on my account. I must away. I did not mean to impose for so long.
You're hardly an imposition.
You are kind and good.
Cassidy's face lit up.
Kind and good things do not survive long in a world such as ours.
And just as quickly as it had come, the sudden rush of delight left her. Just immediately, like, just got that up and then swiftly dashed.
Bowing her head, the other woman was out the door and gone, leaving hurt and confusion in her wake.
Oh, that's a beautiful starry sky.
When she looked out the window to glimpse the same view that Elowen had just beheld, what Cassidy saw before her was but a bleak uncertainty. Without wisdom or experience, storms shall ill-weathered be. But when you are nearby, dear one, no storms can bother me.
Day 3. I think from what I remember, this game takes place over the course of 7 days, so we're almost halfway through, I guess, the route.
The exiled princess paused on the very first line of her letter. To my dear Alexander. Is that too...
Shut up, Avast.
Is that too familiar? Will he dislike it?
He's your brother! He's your brother, isn't she? I mean, isn't he? Sorry. Yeah, she's very... There's a reason I put down in the description, mysterious woman of the trees. I'm really thinking she's like a nature spirit.
The brother of her memory was a kind boy, but rather stiff and particularly mindful of decorum. Following the events of the previous evening, Cassidy felt compelled to rewrite her half-finished letter. Not that Alexander would care, or I want Alexander to see me at my best.
I'm gonna save here. I'm gonna say not that like, he's my brother. I shouldn't have to worry about... Yeah, I shouldn't have to worry about being my best around him. Like...
Not that Alexander will care either way. I'm sure he's too busy to even read my letters through. Still, I want him to know how I spend my days. I feel less alone when I read his letters, and if mine can ease his spirits, then it's a worthwhile endeavor. Somehow, even after rewriting the letter, Cassidy was not confident about its contents. To my dear Alexander, I hope that this letter finds you well, dear brother. My days remain unchanged. Every morning I wake up and make myself breakfast and a cup of tea. I greatly enjoyed the tea leaves that you sent last. After breakfast, I read or practice my embroidery. You will, perhaps, not be surprised to know that my skill with the needle has not much improved. In the afternoons and evenings, I like to go on walks. Do not worry, I do not stray far from the... Is this interesting enough? She had not talked much of Elowen, not wanting to confuse her brother with a tale of a woman he had never met. In fact, upon a quick reread, she realized she had not mentioned Elowen in her letter at all. It's better this way, I think. When Cassidy looked out the window, she realized the sun had started to set.
What the Jeez, already?
Oh dear, was I revising for so long? Silly me. She folded up her letter and placed it in an envelope, sealing it with the royal wax seal she was given. She stood and stretched her arms above her head. I've hardly moved all day. That's no good.
Time to go visit my girlfriend. No. Cassidy walked to the front of the cottage, where she normally left her letters halfway beneath the door for an agent to collect. She had just stuffed her letter under the door when... Princess? Cassidy's blood ran cold for just a moment. Yet she soon realized who was addressing her and relaxed. Hi.
You surprised me, Elowen.
She spoke to the other woman through the half-open window at the front of the cottage.
I am no princess, you know.
Is that so? You seem like one to me. Cassidy was not sure how to respond to that sentiment.
Have I casually let slip that I was a princess? I did not realize that I still behaved in the manner of one. Lifelong habits cannot so soon be discarded, it seems.
There's an envelope under the door.
Oh yes, do leave it there. It's outgoing.
Outgoing? Elowen paused for a long while, but said no more on the subject. May I come in?
Of course! I'm so sorry. I should have invited you sooner. I was so taken aback, you see.
I did not mean to surprise you so.
It's all right. A happy surprise. I'm so glad to see you.
She opened the door and ushered Elowen inside. This time, Cassidy did not forget her manners. She quickly flew into the kitchen to make her guests some tea, and pulled out the crackers she'd set aside for just such an occasion. Elowen politely sipped the tea, but did not touch the crackers. I suppose she has already eaten, or I wonder why she does not eat. Maybe she's already eaten. I get the bad ending. That would suck. I get the bad ending immediately, and it's like, well, guess you can't trust me anymore.
There's a healthy glow to Elowen's face. I suppose she has already eaten. She strikes me as the type who would worry about her figure.
Her figure's good, though.
And it is so late in the day already. Yes, I'm sure she has already supped and can eat no more.
You know, side notes. Is it just me, or does Cassidy look like a hamster with this face? Wish I wouldn't cough so much. I had to take a drink right there. I should have practiced. For this last week. Cassidy endeavored not to take offense, and instead greedily partook of the crackers herself. The two women talked pleasantries for some time, though it became rather apparent that Elowen's attention lay elsewhere.
Is everything quite all right?
Why do you ask? Yeah, a very cute hamster indeed.
You seem somewhat reserved. That is, more than usual.
That letter.
Hmm?
You said it was outgoing. Is that the letter you wrote your brother?
Oh yes, if I leave the letters there, someone will come collect it.
Someone? How can that be? You do not go into town to have your mail delivered? She was at a loss as to how to explain. Cassidy herself knew that her situation was extraordinary.
You see, though I live alone, I'm well taken care of. My brother provides everything. Every fortnight or so, his agents deliver food and supplies to me. Someone is around to collect my outgoing letters once or twice a day. I only ever send my brother letters, of course.
I was not wrong when I said this place was like a jail. Why do you live here alone when he clearly has enough resources to take care of you? Cassidy shifted uncomfortably in her seat. Elowen's eyes seemed not to look at her so much as bore into her soul. Cassidy felt judged, and deemed unworthy, though she had not yet responded to Elowen's inquiry. No matter how she phrased it in her head, it sounded awful.
I'm here for my own safety.
She took a deep breath.
When you called me princess earlier, you were not far off the mark. I once was a princess, though I am no longer. After my father, the king's death, I was to inherit the throne, but our barons in parliament voted no confidence. Worse, I was then handed trumped-up charges of treason. I very well could have been executed. Instead, my younger brother intervened on my behalf.
So you are?
Alive. In exile, but alive.
The former princess surprised herself at the depth of her own feelings, at the desperation with which she tried to convince especially herself that this was for the best. How can you be so positive?
What?
You speak so fondly of your brother, when he is the one who exiled you, who left you here to rot in isolation.
It's not like that, Elowen.
What part of what I said is false? Tell me.
It's not that simple. It's not Alexander's fault.
She found herself repeating her thoughts on the matter mechanically, things she only half believed. She had said all these things before. It seemed she no more believed them now. As a result of your dear Alexander's intervention, you were exiled, were you not? Who's to say he was not responsible for the unfavorable vote in the first place?
Why would he do that? What would he have to gain?
Probably your position.
I know that it seems unfair, but I have come to terms with it. Matters of court are never black and white. I'm lucky to have left the castle with my life.
I've previously stated my belief that you are kind and good. I have now revised my opinion. You are a blind fool. Oof. As I am mute, you are blind. Altogether too blind to the selfish ways of the world.
What is your meaning?
Come on, get back up. Come on. Come on. Sorry about that, a little bit of lag just happened. Again, it's never an Airi stream unless there's lag. Okay. Elowen rose from her seat in one swift movement, and then headed for the door. Good night, princess.
I am princess no longer. Mock me not, I beg you.
Ooh. Maybe I picked up the wrong thing. Just like that, she was gone, disappeared into the dark. Oh. Cassidy wrapped her arms around her torso, hugging herself for comfort in the wake of Elowen's sudden, indignant anger. Aw. Feeling comfort none, the former princess squeezed her eyes shut.
Oh, Elowen. Why?
There is a treasure that can't be bought, no matter how long it may be sought. It is something priceless, yet free. I speak, of course, of an apology. Day 4. After a restless sleep, Cassidy awoke to the sun's harsh rays. She stretched, arching her back to release the tension there. Finally, her gaze went to the front door. Excuse me. There was a distinct lack of a letter beneath it.
They must have come in the night. How diligent my brother's agents are.
Whoa. That music cut in.
You are a blind fool.
All at once, the memories of her argument with Elwyn nearly knocked the wind out of her.
I cannot believe I divulged such secrets to someone I barely know.
Cassidy was puzzled, both at herself and at Elwyn's odd behavior. Gonna save yet again. Because you never know. What a shock that was, or I'm sure she had her reasons. I'm gonna say she had her reasons. Whoa.
Elwyn appeared so upset. I wonder if she experienced something similar. Perhaps my blind optimism reminded her too much of it. I'm sure she's only worried for me. I seem to inspire that breed of pity in others. I can understand that. I'm afraid I often come off as quite helpless. I must ask her about her own life. We know so little about each other, it's no wonder she would react that way. One can only draw conclusions based on what one already knows.
Presently, there was a knock at the door. Given how long it had been since her last shipment, as well as the fact that Elwyn was far more likely to announce her presence with her words, Cassidy could draw but one conclusion. She waited nearly 10 minutes before opening the door. It was protocol. She knew not who her brother sent, and it was unclear whether they knew whom they were delivering to. The royal family of Varomir had a distinctive look to them. It would not do for too many people to know who she was, or that a former princess dwelled here. When she finally allowed herself to open the door, she found a large wooden crate not unlike the previous ones. Sitting atop the crate's contents was a sealed envelope. Cassidy instantly recognized the severe cursive. To my sister, I am glad to hear that you are adjusting well to life at the cottage. Doubtless there are many things that challenge you, given your former life, but we must all make the best of things. I know that you have too much time on your hands, so I have been sure to enclose more books for you to read. You may, one day, be called upon to marry well for the advantage of king and country. As such, it is of the utmost importance that you keep your mind sharp and your hands unidle. Okay, I was like, what is that word? Also, wait, why am I being called upon to marry someone? Aren't I exiled? It should be you who's marrying someone. The last part seemed to have been written later, as the script looked slightly different. I think of you often. I worry about you more often still. Be safe in the forest and keep to yourself, though I know that is difficult for you. Please await my next letter. I remain your loyal brother, A. She read over the letter many times, trying her best to glean affection from it.
Alexander has always been a little awkward. I'm sure the last bit was added with some reluctance, after one of his advisors chastised him for the content of his letter.
She smiled and ran her fingertips along the part that read, I think of you often. Oh. That's actually really sad, like, the fact that she is so lonely that I mean, I don't want to sit here and be like, you know, her brother isn't being genuine, but going along, like, with this thing that he may not be, like, sincere with his words, it's just sad that she's, like, you know, like, running her, like, basically just taking this letter and just being like, he loves me, despite the fact that, like, But then she remembered the sentence about marriage. How thoughtful, or is this why he kept me alive? I don't understand, like, why she has to worry about marriage. Like, she's exiled, right? I mean, she says she's no longer a princess. So wouldn't that mean that, like, if she's no longer princess, he's now prince, who's now crown prince, which means shouldn't he be the one to marry someone and produce an heir to continue the legacy? Why does it have to be her? What do you mean, in line with nihilism? I don't know what choice to pick here. Because it's like... to me, it's like, I honestly don't understand, like, how it's thoughtful that her brother thinks about, you know, that her brother says, like, by the way, I may have to call upon you to marry someone someday. But I also don't want to go with, like, the whole, like, with her thinking, like, is this the only reason why my brother kept me alive? I'm gonna go for it. Is this why he kept me alive?
Could this be the reason he kept me alive? Only to be an advantageous pawn?
Oh, fuck, now I feel bad. But no, we are not gonna... That could be very true. Like, she could be lying to herself. Because, I mean, because when it comes to some people, you know, I don't want to say, like, kinds of people, but, like, when it comes to some people in this kind of situation, like, you know, it's like, they don't want to, like, fathom the thought that, like, their own family member is the reason why they're in this shitty situation. So it's like, they try to rationalize it. You know? So it could be very possible she's lying to herself so that she doesn't believe that her own brother did this to her. And if that's true, that's really sad. The thoughts ate away at her, and Cassidy fought back tears. Her brother had never been so blunt about his intentions before. The letter did not raise her spirits as much as the letters from Alexandria usually did. The implication of it weighed on her.
Of course I must be useful to the kingdom somehow. Why else would I be alive? If I can be of use, even as a disgraced princess.
Cassidy sighed. She could not finish that thought. All of a sudden, Cassidy wanted nothing but to see Elowen again.
I need comfort! I will seek her out. I must.
Okay, I know we're going into angst mode here, but maybe, just maybe, we'll get the good ending on the first try. There's 8 endings. I actually don't know if the 8 endings are classified by good, bad, true, and neutral, but you never know. The other woman's presence would certainly be a salve for her current mood. That was her reasoning, and she swiftly acted upon it. Cassidy set the crate away inside the cottage and then set out. After a long, fruitless walk about the forest, she arrived in front of the wisteria tree.
Elowen.
Princess?
I am no longer a princess.
Just because you no longer live in a castle does not mean that you are no longer a princess. Cassidy was reminded of the word marriage once again. Elowen was right. She was still considered a princess, insofar as a princess could be useful. This is kind of reminded me of one of my characters. It's like, you're only useful if you can marry someone and then produce a child. for political gain. It's like, I'm still a person. I should choose what I want to do with my life.
A long silence passed between them. Both were conscious, no doubt, of the argument that had transpired between them. An argument they had not yet resolved.
It's funny how they're saying it's an argument when it's just... I don't know, maybe my definition of argument is different, but it's like... they weren't even yelling at each other. It was more like Elowen trying to, like, convince her of this thing, and Cassidy not wanting to believe it.
I'm sorry. Elowen's eyes widened almost imperceptibly, but Cassidy, staring into the other woman's face as she was, took note. I should not have burdened you with my circumstances to begin with. But you were only worried for me. I should have been more sensitive in my explanation. No. Cassidy was struck by the sight of Elowen's soft smile as she laughed. The former princess's heart fluttered, and her brother's letter was promptly forgotten.
Wow, the gay just came to save the day, huh?
It is nothing. It would seem that I, too, am quite the fool. The air thusly cleared, the two women were able to enjoy the rest of their day together. They whiled the time away in companionable satisfaction. That night, Cassidy drifted off to sleep with a full heart. The strings of love are oft unseen. Though wrapped around you they may be. When tied fast, none can come between, nor challenge humble fate's decree. Day 5. Ah, how beautiful it is today. Indeed. Elowen had surprised Cassidy early that morning, arriving at her front door without warning. Though Elowen didn't even knock, silly creature.
What? Silly creature?
I wonder if she would have left if I hadn't seen her and opened the door.
Yeah, just kiss her. No, it's technically a slow burn. We gotta wait for it.
The thought bothered her, almost as much as the notion that Elowen might not yearn for Cassidy's company the way Cassidy did for hers. After some time spent lingering, both paralyzed by indecision, they decided to go on a leisurely nature walk. For the next few hours, they strolled through the forest together, stopping here and there to pick berries or mushrooms. That one is poisonous. Do not touch it. Right. Cassidy drew her hand back in mortified alarm. It will not do for your lovely skin to be marred by poisonous spores. Cassidy hazarded a glance at the other woman's face, but Elowen looked as unflappable as ever. Poisonous?
Are you sure, or how do you know so much? Let's save. You never know. I'm gonna say, how do you know so much?
You know so much about the flora and fauna here. However did you learn it all? I have lived here many years. In that time I have witnessed many interesting things. I have learned much, letting the people who pass through educate me. However... It's been a solitary life. I have seen much, but experienced little.
Oh my god, am I actually gonna be right that she's a nature spirit or something?
Elowen. I have long felt like someone on the outside looking in on a world I could never touch. There was a melancholy in Elowen's countenance that Cassidy had not yet seen, nor even thought the woman capable of. The Elowen she knew was dignified, taking such charge of her emotions that none ever showed. I have not known her long, of course. Perhaps that was merely how she comports herself around those of little acquaintance. What made you decide to reach out to me?
Reach out.
That is...
She thought back to their first meeting, the way her own heart had leapt at the sight of Elowen. Wow, the gay! The gay! And Elowen had known all about her, had apparently been watching her for some time.
You didn't have to be sitting under the tree that day. You could have continued watching me from afar. But you found me. You spoke to me. And I'm so glad she did. But I fear she might call me silly if I say such a thing.
I thought you delicately beautiful. Shit. The matter-of-fact way that Elowen said this struck Cassidy. She was flattered, of course, yet part of her was also worried. Beauty was not something lasting. It would be a shaky foundation for any relationship. If it had been a courtier complimenting her beauty, Cassidy might have taken it better. But this was Elowen, a woman of whom she was becoming increasingly fond. Wow. Just come right out and say it. She has a crush on her. She probably wants to be in her arms.
Thought? That's past tense, is it not? What do you think of me now?
I still think you exceedingly beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm just like, wow. But dainty and delicate you are not. You are far from being the poised princess I took you for. Cassidy winced, her mouth formed a little pout as she turned her eyes to the ground. It doesn't necessarily mean anything bad, it just means, like, you know, you might be more than what she was expecting. Like, you could take it that way.
As I thought.
Oh, no woman could love me. I'm sorry.
It is to be expected. Someone so graceful as Elowen would, of course, find me lacking.
Aww. You are not what I expected, but I believe that might be for the better. I was fucking right. Slowly, Cassidy tilted her face up, her eyes growing large with disbelief. Oh my god.
For the better?
You are always exceeding my expectations. Oh my god. I'm legit gonna fucking... I'm legit gonna, like, just start, like... I'm like smiling. And it's like, I gotta, like, I gotta voice act. I wonder if the other people I allowed to come and go would have as well, had I let them so near.
Well...
Hmm?
It may be selfish of me, but I'm truly happy you let the others go. I'm glad that I'm the only person you allow close.
Wow. No straight woman speaks this to another woman.
I'm sorry, that makes me sound so ugly.
No, it makes you gay.
No. No uglier than I.
Suddenly, in Cassidy's eye... Oh, when did that happen? Suddenly, in Cassidy's eyes, Elowen looked so very haggard. She peered through the polished veneer and saw a woman who was tired and hungry.
Are you alright?
Oh, she returned back to normal. In a blink, Elowen appeared to be the same as always. I'm fine. Even so, Cassidy could not shake the feeling that something was off.
Are you quite sure? You seem tired.
Elowen was silent for a long while. Yes. Perhaps I am tired. Forgive me, I am not used to the midday sun. It occurred to Cassidy then that she had never seen Elowen in the morning before.
Could she be something of a night owl? I hadn't supposed it. And here I invited her to walk with me, underneath the full blaze of the sun. How thoughtless I am. Elowen.
Yes.
Why don't you stay with me at my cottage tonight?
What?
Well, I'm worried about you, and it can't be easy being a woman and living alone.
She knew this best of all.
I would be much more at ease if you would come with me tonight. Let us break bread together and while away the night in comfort.
She was not expecting Elowen to accept. Not Elowen, who had reacted so strongly to an invitation merely a few days earlier. And yet... All right.
Really?
Oh. Would it be better if I returned to my home?
No, I just was worried that you would not accept. I realize that it's not very dainty to be so forward.
Some women appreciate those who are forward.
At this, Elowen finally smiled. Cassidy's heart felt akin to an acrobat at the sight, doing backflips and pirouettes in joy. It would be my honor to accompany you. It may do us both some good. As ever, Cassidy was far too excited to hear the latter. Looking forward to a night with her new favorite person, she had already changed course and started along the path home. Can we get a kiss as a treat? Cassidy closed the front door behind them and went to the kitchen to put away the plants they'd gathered. Is there anything I can help with?
Leave it to me. Just have a seat and rest. You really do look tired.
All right. While she put her affairs in order in the kitchen, Cassidy couldn't help but think back to the things Elowen had said.
She said that she likes me the way that I am. That's so kind.
Oh, what the fuck?
She felt a deep sense of warmth and satisfaction, the likes of which she had not felt in a long time.
Yeah, just kiss. Can we get a kiss as a treat?
Cassidy returned to the living room a short while later, 2 cups of tea in hand.
Oh!
She found Elowen asleep, slumped on the
Divan? Divan?
I'm gonna accidentally say duvet.
Poor thing. She must have been exhausted.
There was a loose strand of hair in front of Elowen's face. Cassidy reached down and tucked behind her ear.
That is gay. Wow. Excuse me. Excuse me. Can I have that? No.
She looks so innocent when she's asleep.
Chuckling to herself, Cassidy let Elowen rest and passed some quiet time reading by the other woman's side. Night soon fell, and the pair supped together.
Elowen doesn't eat very much. No wonder she's so thin.
Elowen, unaware of being observed so directly, delicately sipped a glass of water.
Are you full?
I am satisfied.
You eat so little, I'm worried for your health.
I eat enough. I do not like doing anything in excess.
I see.
Her tone left no room for argument. After dinner, Cassidy cleared the plates and things away and began to get the room ready for sleep. Read to each other. The cottage was not large. Her parlor had to double as her bedroom out of necessity. It was all well and good for a single person, but now that another had been added, Cassidy became acutely aware of the lack of space.
Please share a bed! Share a bed! Share the bed!
There's only...
my god, they did it. They did that. They did that. That is a fanfic trope. There's only one bed.
There's only one bed. I do not mind sleeping on the divan. I already did earlier. Sleep with her, please. Once again, I'm sorry that I didn't wake you up. You just look so at peace. I could not bear to wake you. I'm embarrassed to have allowed you to see me in such a state. I only fear... No, it's nothing. I would gladly sleep on the divan or the ground. I'm not choosy.
Sleep in the bed.
Oh, that won't do at all. You're a guest.
Wow, that is very forward. Cassidy gulped. Truth be told, she had one other, much more preferable arrangement in mind. Wow, I'm actually really glad that we do not have a protagonist who's just like, it's not weird, right? It's not weird. She's like, nope, I want this. Oh my god.
We could share the bed. There's room enough for two.
I notice you do not offer to sleep on the divan. Struck by her own lack of graciousness, Cassidy bit her lip, cowed into silence. I am only teasing. If you do not mind being so snug, I will be happy to share the space with you. I wish I had Streamlabs so I could do an alert that says, Hallelujah!
Nothing would please me more than to be close to you!
Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay.
I mean, yes. Wonderful. I shall fetch another pillow then.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
She flew out of the room to retrieve a spare pillow from the closet, face burning with embarrassment.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. That's cute, first of all. Secondly, yes. Thirdly... Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Alright. Alright, gotta read.
Do you have enough space? You're not too cramped?
Wow, this is... Wow, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. It's just like, I'm thinking, and it's just like, no two women are like this. No two straight women are like this.
I'm fine. Truth be told, I do not mind the proximity. There was a far... There was a faraway look in Elowen's eyes. I'd been alone for so long, until you came.
Wow, okay.
How did you come to live here in the forest? Where is your family? Oh.
Why the hesitation, and perhaps she cannot say. I would be so... Oh my god, I want to be forward. I want to be forward, but I'm like, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin this. I'm gonna save, because I need this. And I'm gonna say, why the hesitation?
It's a simple question, is it not? Why does she have such trouble talking about it?
I mean...
Though I suppose my own situation was not so simple to speak of. Has your family... gone away? Elowen, with her mouth in a grim straight line, stared at Cassidy. It is a trying subject. I'm not quite sure where to begin. She took a deep breath. I have lived here all my life. Once I was not alone, but... Elowen paused and sighed. You remember the wisteria tree? Of course! That's my favorite place in the entire forest. Have you noticed that there are no other wisteria trees around it? Now that you mention it... She never had thought about it, but as Cassidy searched her memories, she realized that Elowen was correct. You're right. I wonder why that is. There's an even older wisteria tree deep in the forest, but now those are the only two left, and they are so far from each other. So it is with me. Cassidy found her choice of words puzzling, but nodded. I once had siblings. They have long since departed, so I don't really have family here anymore. Others have come and gone, as I said, but I cannot relate to them. I watched them from afar without entering their lives, and did not mourn them when they left mine. And so the years went by. You'll never be alone again. Elowen's eyes widened. Cassidy thought she might start crying, but she only smiled sadly. I see.
Yes, I'm really thinking she's like, she's not human at all.
Cassidy snuggled just a little bit closer to the other woman, as if to show meaning through actions where words might fail. And so they passed the night together, in pleasant company, in warm conversation.
Alright. Oh man, when are we gonna get to the really bad shit?
When the sunshine blazes down, I soon begin to wish for rain. But when you've gone away, my dear, I soon long for the sun again.
Day 6. You know what I just realized is that we're in a forest full of flowers, right? I know that in Yuri, flowers are usually representative of romance between two women, so I kind of wonder if that's why why there's so many flowers everywhere. Okay.
Cassidy awoke alone, with a cold space beside her.
No, she didn't. Don't tell me she did. I'm hoping she's still here. Like, tell me she at least stayed the night.
Again, she's gone in the morning. What could she be doing so early? It's highly suspect. She could no longer ignore the gnawing feeling of dread. Perhaps she would ask Elowen upon their next meeting. Still, what a wonderful night that was. Each precious memory had been carved into Cassidy's heart. She yawned and slowly pulled herself out of bed. With or without Elowen, she would have to get on with her day. Cassidy hummed a little tune to herself as she cleaned up and prepared breakfast. Sitting down at the table with her bread and morning tea, she glanced at her stationery set, left by the vase.
Oh, did she write a letter?
A lot has happened. Perhaps I should write Alexander a letter?
Alright, I'm gonna save. No, I did not realize that at all. Alright, I gotta go put the puppy to bed. So I'll be right back. In the meantime, take a little bit of a break. Alright, I'm back. Whoops. Hopefully, we got a little bit of a nice break in between the gay. The puppy was already in bed. But, all I did was just give her a treat, you know, like I normally do, and I put her toys in there, and yeah, so she's asleep. And then I just took the time to quickly scroll through Twitter, see what there is, because Twitter is my safe haven. But, anyway, are we ready to get back into this? We're on day 6. So let me just get the text out of there, get the game back up. Alright, we already saved, but just in case we're gonna save again, because you never know. Okay. A lot has happened. Perhaps I should write Alexandra a letter. I don't know. Because I think at this point we have to mention Elowen, right? I don't know, man. Would that really be a good idea, though? Well, we did save, so let's not. Let's not. Something tells me, like, the fact that there's homophobia and incest, like, Alexander is not exactly, is a little bit too fond of us, and probably does not want us to be canoodling with a woman. So, she shook her head.
That can wait. I'm more worried about what Elowen is up to now. Though always lonesome before, the former princess's life now felt so much emptier without Elowen's presence. Though she could be...
I'm assuming that's a typo.
Though she should be accustomed to such solitude, she could barely concentrate on her usual chores. To think that a few days could change a person so... In a lull in her activities, Cassidy's gaze went to the window. Deep in the forest, her beloved wisteria tree stood. She could see it so clearly in her mind's eye. Elowen is like that tree, or I wonder if she's there.
Okay. I brought it up before that I don't think Elowen's human. Like, I don't think she's human. Like, the way she speaks about people coming in and out of her life and how much she lived, even though she looks to be around the same age as Cassidy, I'm beginning to think she's I'm really wondering if she's like a nature spirit of some kind. I'm gonna go with this. She's probably like the wisteria tree or something.
Elowen is very much like that tree. She said as much herself. So beautiful and haunting, and alone. The other woman's words from the night before weighed heavily on Cassidy. She passed the rest of the day peacefully, but with a sense of unease.
Are we on day 7 already? Shit! I don't like this thing right here.
The next day came and still no Elowen. Cassidy was left with nothing but her own thoughts. And thinking of Elowen perturbed Cassidy greatly. In the last several days, the woman had embedded herself into Cassidy's life like a thorn. I never expected to become close to another person again. She thought about Elowen and the things the other woman had said, the hours spent together that were so few, but felt an impossible eternity. Despite how she looks, she must be much older than me. She has a proper way of speaking and always says she's lived in the forest a long time. And with the intricacy of her clothing and her manners, something did not quite add up. Elowen did not seem to like people much. Certainly, it did not seem her presence in the wood, despite how long it had been, was known to many. Alexandra most probably would not have sent me here if it was known that a beautiful woman was living alone in this very wood.
Where did Elowen come from? Why was she here alone? She still had no satisfactory answer. Thinking it all over, Elowen is strange. Elowen is unearthly. Gonna save. Yep, we're on day 7. She's unearthly. Cassidy suddenly realized that all of the things she knew about Elowen pointed to something potentially horrible. She'd been so overcome by the woman's peculiar charm and beautiful looks that she had overlooked something. Cassidy shook her head. Perhaps she was jumping to conclusions too quickly.
I must be a little lonely, that's all. I haven't seen her since that night. She can be blunt, perhaps, but I believe she means well. I care deeply for her, and she...
Remembering the last several days... Oh my god. Elowen cares for me, ellipses, or Elowen is truly monstrous.
I think we all know what I'm gonna pick.
She cares for me. Cassidy's gaze fell upon her latest letter draft to Alexander sitting upon the table. She had started the night before after a day spent all alone. Her thoughts naturally drifted to her brother.
If I leave here, if one day Alexander allows me to leave, what else awaits me? To marry a man.
I love that. To marry a man. That doesn't sound right. When he knows full well that I cannot bear to do that. Oh my god. Yes? Yes. Wait, what? The lid on the box of her memories slowly opened. Uh-oh. Oh no, this is gonna go into some territory, ain't it? Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Veramir, a pair of twins was born. It was a fortuitous event. The sister, being the elder, was marked for queenhood. All expected bitterness and resentment from her younger twin, but there was no such thing. Alexander absolutely adored Cassidy. They spent almost all of their time together. The only others Cassidy spent her days with were her beloved handmaidens, handpicked from noble families to serve her. Oh no. Oh no, we're getting into the incest, aren't we? As Cassidy grew, it became more and more apparent that she could not lead. She had little interest in politics. She much preferred socializing, spending her carefree days with her bosom friends. She and Alexander made a pact that when she became queen, he would rule as regent. She could not abdicate without making the kingdom appear weak, but she would defer to him in all matters. The promise was made. To prepare for the day that he would become regent, Alexander went abroad to study, begging the king and queen to allow him to go. It was begrudgingly granted. Though he was gone but a few months, it was hard on his sister. She wrote him letters daily, and he was more than happy to return those gestures in kind. Yet as time went on, she wrote to him less and less. She was finding solace in her handmaidens, he thought. All was well. During a holiday, Alexander returned to the castle for a surprise visit. He missed his sister too much. Surely she too had longed to see him. What's gonna happen? Imagine his surprise. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, I'm actually kind of scared now. Indeed, his utter horror. Oh god. Okay. Okay, I'm a little scared. Like, she was spending a little bit too much time with a woman, and he did not like that. Okay! When that doting brother discovered his beloved older sister in bed with another woman, the handmaiden was banished?
He would not speak of this to another, for his sister's reputation, for his own reputation. "You were lonely, weren't you?" he asked. "Yes, so unbearably lonely. And she was so sweet to me." Oh, is Elowen the handmaiden? Was she the one I was spending in bed with? He canceled his studies abroad at once. They were, again, every day together. Still, his sister's inclinations could not be ignored. A coy glance to a maiden here, a lingering touch there. He could not spend every minute with her as much as he wanted to. And as their parents talked of strategic marriages, of the twins' duties, Alexander was overcome with dread. Me? Marry? When my elder sister might steal my bride away?
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. What the No, that's not how it works.
More than that, it was unbearable to think of her married to some man. A man who would be king.
Oh, God.
In the meantime, more handmaids were quickly banished. And just when Alexander thought he might go completely mad, the unthinkable occurred. The twins' father, the king, dropped dead in the middle of dinner. She would become queen.
The sinful older sister.
It was not her fault. Other women were drawn to her like moths to a flame, and she had a deep loneliness that cannot be satisfied with anything but constant contact. She loved everyone, but him.
Oh God, can we not, please?
And she would be queen. It was with great surprise that Cassidy went before the Parliament of Barons. Their decision was swift and decisive and cruel, a vote of no confidence. Why?
Princess Cassidy of Varamir, you stand accused of immoral acts.
Her blood ran cold as her charges were detailed. Alexander had not spoken a word of it. Of that she was sure. He had promised. Yet with every handmaiden forced out, gossip followed. The young prince, so salacious and hot-blooded, everyone just knew what was going on. To become...
What? What? Oh dear.
To become pregnant out of wedlock. What scandal! No one ever knew that not a single one of the maidens was ever with child. Every one of them was sent to the countryside for a period of confinement that would never end. No one but they two knew the real truth. Then, how?
Wait, who's pregnant? Is it Cassidy?
Do you deny it? Can you possibly deny it?
A word, gentlemen. A word, gentlemen. All eyes were on the prince. Surely he, so personally affected by the rumors, would want her gone most of all.
Wait, if she was sleeping with women, how the fuck did she get pregnant?
The punishment for what she stood accused of was death. Yet it was not death that the prince suggested. Exile, in a forest far from the castle. She did not know better, had been corrupted by outside forces. They could not be so callous as to sentence a young girl to a cruel death. The barons were troubled. But the words from he who would be king were powerful. His older sister had not inherited all the charisma and charm. And so it was decided. And Cassidy wept grateful tears. Her beloved brother, he who had all the reason in the world to blame and despise her, he'd saved her life. Cassidy, of course, knew not of her brother's true thoughts and intentions, but that is no reason for you to remain ignorant of the full truth. Is a political marriage truly my only means of escape? If I can be useful to the kingdom in any way, is that better? Will my life no longer be considered a waste?
Did you ever truly love me, or I will trust in you and wait? Do I want... I feel like I'm choosing between her escaping or her staying. I'm gonna do it.
Alexander, did you ever truly love me? Is the precious younger brother that I once knew completely gone? Are you truly the one who has been writing me these letters?
One negative thought spiraled into a dozen. She let out a long sigh. Her thoughts had taken her on a not-so-merry chase.
If I dwell on these thoughts, there will be no end to them.
She brewed herself a cup of tea to calm her nerves and began reading a new book. From time to time, her eyes went, somewhat nervously, to the window. And so, evening fell. While Cassidy sat on the divan contemplating whether or not she wished to go on a walk, the door to the cottage burst open. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, you don't look so good. There was a monstrous-looking creature in her doorway. It breathed deep, ragged breaths. You must leave this place. It was only when she heard the monster's voice that Cassidy realized this was Elowen. Yet she was no longer the Elowen whom Cassidy was familiar with.
What are you saying?
It is not safe here.
What? What?
Oh boy. Elowen grabbed at Cassidy's arm, her nails digging into the exiled princess's soft flesh.
Ow!
Come now! Okay, what's going on? Protesting loudly all the way, Cassidy was dragged outside. Cassidy had no earthly idea why Elowen was behaving this way, why she looked this way.
What does she mean it's not safe?
She began to fear that this was a trap, one that had been previously laid and was now snapping shut.
Stop this!
After a long while of walking and pleading with Elowen to listen, Cassidy was finally able to yank her arm from the monster's grip.
You come to me like this? With no explanation? And expect me to follow you?
Like this?
Do you even know how you currently appear? What kind of monster are you?
Wow. Elowen froze in place. For several seconds she did not move. Finally, she slowly brought her hands up to her face. She appeared to be looking at them for the first time. So you find me disgusting, do you? Monstrous? Cassidy quickly regretted her rash words.
I should not have said it like that. It was not very regal of me. Perhaps there is an explanation for all this.
Yet when her gaze drifted to Elowen's countenance, she could feel nothing but revulsion. Their eyes met. Cassidy recoiled in disgust. Oh my god, no, come on, man, I tried so hard! Suddenly, Elowen began to shake.
Elowen?
She thought the monster might be crying, but... laughing. Elowen was laughing hysterically. She doubled over, clutching her side as she laughed and laughed. Then she looked up once more and met Cassidy's gaze. Her feigned gaiety ceased immediately. What a fool I was, to think that you could understand me. Cassidy felt a stabbing pain in her abdomen. It burned. It was agony. She turned her gaze downward and saw that Elowin had impaled her with her arm, now somehow sharp as a blade.
That you could love me. I was right. She's crying.
Oh! Cassidy's heart still beat for a short while after that. She was dimly aware of something clawing, rummaging through her entrails? She was dimly aware of the sound of something eating.
Where is her heart? Okay. She said I must devour it to be free. I beg you, Mother, release me.
Tears and blood mingled on two women's faces and became inseparable. And then there was no one there but a monster, and the corpse upon which it fed. Monster, monster, where dost thou roam? Hast thou a heart? Hast thou a home? Human, thou art monster true, so criticize me not. I will chew thy dainty bones, and leave thy flesh to rot. Dining as lovers do. End. What?! Well, shit! Dining as lovers do. The princess is killed by a hungry demon. Naive and incapable of understanding, Cassidy is frightened by Elowin, whose time and form is running out. Elowin comes to warn Cassidy of the incoming army, but distrustful of the monster before her, Cassidy attempts to run. But Elowin needs her heart to free herself from her curse. We're already halfway through the game! Halfway, 55% game completion. Wow, okay. Well, shit! Huh. Well, that, was a thing. Of course, I feel like that's the bad ending. I think that's a bad ending. Oh, shit. I didn't expect to die. Huh. Fuck. Huh. Okay. Alright, okay, well, okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start again, but obviously we are gonna make different choices, see... Okay, how do you skip? How do you skip? Let's see. Is there anything on here? Advances dialogue, skips control. Okay. Just gonna skip past this. Whoops, that's alt. There we go. Oh, am I supposed to hold it? Okay. I think I got... That is highly suspect? Oh, that's cool. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Apparently, if you pick a choice from before a path, you get a yellow thing that indicates you already picked it. Okay. Highly suspect then.
I've explored this area many a time, and I've never seen any abode. And her wording is so vague. What could be the meaning for that? I don't understand. Can that be so?
Are you accusing me of being a liar?
Well, no,
I would never lie. In fact, I am quite incapable of it.
She seems even more on her guard now. What have I done? Oh!
Okay, alright. Alright, so I picked this. She must love trees. Let's try you. She must have had a bad experience. I'm just gonna go with the choices I haven't picked. See if we get a different ending for that. Okay.
We humans are meddlesome things, aren't we? Perhaps I'm making too light of her feelings. I thought that was rather an intelligent thing to say. You truly love this forest.
Yes. In fact, I feel that I am part of it, and it is part of me.
How beautiful.
Alright, perhaps Elohim was joking.
On second thought, was that perhaps a joke?
You look much better with a smile.
As do you.
Still.
Oh, okay. Gotta skip past this shit. Oh. Okay.
As Elowen did so with her usual slow, measured steps, Cassidy could not help but notice the other woman's feet, clearly visible in the slippers she wore.
Her toes are curled. How odd.
Okay. They stayed that way even as Elowen entered the house.
Perhaps her manner of walking is not purely for the sake of elegance, but also necessity.
Had Elowen some sort of pain in her feet? Cassidy pondered on this, and resolved to ask about it when the opportunity arose.
I do not appreciate your tone.
I notice you do not disagree with me, however.
I most decidedly do! You don't understand how much my brother cares for me!
You are correct in at least one thing there. Cassidy angrily dried her tears. Elowen looked to the window.
Oh.
I have to believe that Alexander loves me. If not, what will become of me?
Oh.
I do not wish to disappoint him or bore him with minutiae? My original draft.
She sighed, recalling the contents of the now ripped-up pages.
I pined far too much. I would never whine, of course, but my words were drawing near that.
She was afraid to admit, even to herself, how much she missed her brother. With flowing eloquence, Cassidy composed her letter, sure to show her brother all the deference he was owed.
She could not for a moment forget the person responsible for her comfortable lifestyle now. Please never forget your poor sister, who loves you so much. Done. Finally, she gave the front of the envelope a kiss before addressing it to Alexander. She's... okay. Wonder why she doesn't eat. I wonder why she does not eat. Perhaps these are not to her taste. It seems a waste when I save these crackers purposely in order to be good... to be a good hostess when next she came. Though she was confused, Cassidy quietly ate a cracker or two before putting the tray away. My brother put me here for my own safety. It's not so terrible. This cottage is lovely. It's a good thing to be among nature like this. It is not my brother's fault. He could have let them kill me, but I'm alive thanks to him. Oh, Alexander. If only she knew you as I do, then she would understand. What a shock that was. I had thought her a refined, elegant personage, but her rage was palpable and quite unseemly. I must ask her about...
Okay. Oh, this is a new choice. How thoughtful. I don't want to marry.
I have never considered marriage, even before my exile. Can a noble or royal from another nation be content with a wife who has been living in the woods? Can I even be content myself in such a marriage?
Are you sure?
Are you certain it's poisonous? I have no doubt. I have lived in these woods for a long time. There was a melancholy in Eowyn's countenance that Cassidy had not yet seen.
Oh, wait a minute.
She still isn't eating anything. She had plenty of tea earlier, but... could it be that she's foreign? Perhaps she's too polite to say that it's not to her taste? How can you be when you didn't eat anything? I simply am not hungry at this very moment. I would gladly sleep on the divan or the ground. I am not choosy. Perhaps it's not that she does not wish to tell me, but that she cannot. She may have some circumstances that prevent her from speaking on the subject. Wasn't it impertinent of me to bring it up? I'm sorry. Is it difficult for you to tell me? It is a okay. I'll have to be careful with the rest of my supplies. The next shipment is a while away yet. I cannot feast with Eowyn too often. That being said, it's not as if she really eats when she's with me. Still,
okay. Let's write him a letter.
It's important that my brother knows what goes on in my life.
After finishing her breakfast, she set herself to the task of writing to Alexander as usual. Yet her heart was not all in it. Her handwriting was sloppy. Though, okay. I wonder if she's there.
I wonder if she's there now, somewhere in the forest. I never did ask her about her feet. Why are her toes always curled?
And oddest of all,
I still have never seen her eat.
other one is strange.
She is rather strange. Then again, there's nothing normal about my situation either. This only means that I have more things to discover about her in future.
If other one was a tad strange, Cassidy knew that there was more to her than that. Wasn't there?
She has always been honest with me, even if there are some things she cannot yet reveal. She's capable of joking, though she does not do it often. Her smile is so precious.
Remembering the last several days, presently there was a knock at the door, startling Cassidy out of her deep thoughts. It was a short knock, a signal for a letter not accompanying a box.
A letter? So soon after the last? I did send him a letter yesterday, but it is not possible for him to have read it and replied already. Right? How wonderful to hear from him again so soon. If I leave here, blah blah blah. Exile is much more preferable to death. Perhaps Elowen was right to be suspicious of Alexander.
Oh, okay. How long must I stay here, and I will trust in you and wait?
How long must I stay here in the forest? Will I forever be here, atoning for my mistakes?
Oh. Cassidy considered going for a walk, but decided against it. Her foray into her own thoughts had left a shiver running down her spine.
Perhaps Elowen needed some time to herself. Perhaps I ought to take some as well.
And so she resolved not to seek the other woman out this day.
Let's see. Maybe I'll have some tea.
She turned and was about to head into the kitchen when the front door slammed open. The exiled princess whirled around in alarm. Before her was Elowen.
Elowen?
Cassidy. It was the first time Elowen had said her name. Normally, Cassidy would be overjoyed to hear it upon Elowen's lips, yet the Elowen before her now could only be described as a monster.
What has happened to you?
Elowen turned and caught a glimpse of her own reflection in the window. Never mind that. There's a large army approaching. You must away. It's not safe.
What?
Horrified both by the implications and by Elowen's appearance, she took a few steps backward. Cassidy, are you hearing what I say? You must leave here immediately. Come with me. I will keep you safe.
You? Keep me safe?
She retreated further.
Looking like that? No, what am I saying? I've angered her. She's angry.
Oh boy. Cassidy turned and ran the last few steps into the kitchen. Elowen was fast on her heels, but Cassidy knew her own house well. There had to be something she could use as a weapon. Oh my god, we're fucking killing her? Something to defend herself with. Cassidy! Oh, the former princess's hand closed around the handle of a knife, which she brandished in front of her.
Don't come any closer, I'll...
But Elowen's momentum could not be stopped. She rushed forward. There was a dreadful sound, and then the shock of the situation overpowered her consciousness, and Cassidy knew no more. I'm dead, aren't I? Ugh. Oh. Elowen awoke slowly in this lingering evening light, her belly burning with the sting of a wound. Nearby, someone was whispering to themselves over and over. Not just a harlot, but a murderess. Not just a harlot, but a murderess. There was a strange human just outside the kitchen window. Where? Uh-oh. It was then that Elowen finally noticed Cassidy, lying in a heap on the floor, 3 arrows protruding from her back. Cassidy, you're... dead. Dead. Dead! The hapless archer was not spared. Yet the consumption of his heart did nothing to heal Elowen. There was only one heart that would lift her curse, and she had no desire now to take it. Well, shit! Elowen closed her eyes and prayed to the capricious gods for death to take her back to Cassidy's side. Good intentions can be led astray. Doubt and fear can a pure heart sway. A double-edged thorn. End. Wow, okay. The princess cannot trust the demon, and she is killed. As Elowen attempts to warn Cassidy, she is overcome with terror and fear for the monster in front of her. She rushes to defend herself, and Elowen is stabbed in the moment. When Elowen comes to, Cassidy is killed by an archer from her kingdom. Filled with rage and sadness, she kills the archer but cannot kill Cassidy, and dies alongside her, her time run out. Holy shit. Okay. Let's try this again. Just keep skipping, skipping, skipping. Gotta keep skipping, skipping. I'm gonna go with all the top choices, see if that gets me an ending. Oh. Cassidy finished the letter without much of a fuss. She wrote briefly of Elowen, a passerby, helping her find firewood. Most of the contents, however, were in regards to the book she had recently finished. Perhaps this will encourage my dear brother to send me more. Alright, this is something new here. How thoughtful.
I'm sure that Alexander does not wish me to live the rest of my life here. How thoughtful of him to find some way for me to escape exile. Even if it is through a political marriage, I must say I'm not very excited at the prospect.
Ugh. Oh, the letter brought another thought to Cassidy. Cassidy took a sip of her tea and then sighed.
I've been dwelling on this all afternoon.
Even so, she could not lie to herself about the source of her concern.
I haven't seen Elowen in nearly 2 days. Such a short time, but it weighs heavily on me.
She looked out the window to the forest. Perhaps Elowen was somewhere out there. Just as Cassidy was about to act on impulse and seek the other woman out at last, the front door to the cottage slammed open. I apologize if I've caused you alarm, but I have urgent news. The vague notions that Cassidy had been supposing about Elowen's true nature paled in comparison to the real thing. Here was either a monster or a demon. Of that, Cassidy was certain. Yet despite the fact that such a realization should inspire nothing but fear and disgust, Cassidy felt neither. For, more importantly, the woman standing before her now was undoubtedly Elowen.
What news have you?
Her voice did not quiver. There is a large army approaching. I believe they have made camp for the night near here. And I fear they mean you harm.
An army? What colors were their banners?
Red and gold.
So they must be from Varamir. Do not worry, my people would never hurt me.
But Elowen shook her head. I overheard them talking. They certainly mean to do something terrible. Elowen looked sincere. She was truly worried.
But even so, could it truly be? What reason would the army have to be here?
I know that you are loath to trust in a monster such as I.
No.
No?
I'm sorry, that isn't it. And there we have it. Would a true monster ever refer to themselves as one?
Cassidy decided in her heart then and there that Elowen was to be trusted. Even so, there was a contradiction here that bothered her.
I believe you.
Truly, even though I look like this?
Yes, I trust you, even so. However, the situation bothers me. I believe you, but I can't believe that the army of my own kingdom would wish me ill. For if they're here, it must surely be because my brother the king sent them. And for Alexander to betray me, I simply cannot believe it.
In her heart, he was always her beloved brother. Your brother is the one who put you here. Do not forget. How could she have forgotten such an important fact? Cassidy hardly knew.
No, I didn't forget. I simply grew accustomed to this life. You said that they are camped nearby?
Yes.
Can you take me to them?
Elowen nodded grimly. I understand. Perhaps that will allow you to come to terms with everything. Even so, I do not relish the pain that doing so will inflict upon you.
I'm ready,
Cassidy said, clenching her fists.
Wow, this is new.
The two women made their way through the forest. Not long ago, they wandered here together. Those had been such carefree days, feeling far more distant in the past than they had right to.
Once this matter is dealt with, we will have those innocent days once more.
Declaring so in her heart, Cassidy followed closely behind Elowen. Soon, they reached the camp. Cassidy and Elowen hid behind trees and in bushes as they approached, careful not to make their presence known. There were at least 24 soldiers camped there.
Is this really such a good idea? It doesn't matter if it's a good idea. Orders are orders. But still.
The soldiers were talking about amongst themselves when a tall figure emerged from a tent. Cassidy would recognize the person anywhere. In her shock and anger, she gripped Elowen's arm tightly. Elowen turned to look at her. "Your brother." She mouthed the words. Cassidy nodded. "Oh, that's fucked up. I understand that it may not seem chivalry to some of you. Worry not, I shall be the one to dispatch my sister. It is my duty." Wow. "And make no mistake, this is for the good of the kingdom. It will silence the opposition amongst the barons and eliminate our kingdom's one exploitable witness. It may be difficult, but it is the right thing to do." Wow, what an asshole. Alexander spoke the words in a calm, cool tone. Dispatch. Eliminate. They were such harsh words that they stuck in Cassidy's mind.
"So Alexander came himself, and not to visit, not for my benefit, not even to help me. He came to..."
Cassidy was overcome by a feeling she had never before felt in her life. Rage. It was an indignant rage, an all-consuming, angry sort of despair. Once she had loved him. This was her twin brother, one whom she'd entered the world with. She would have given him anything, except her life. Oh. As Cassidy gripped tighter onto Elowen's arm, the other woman began to change. Whoa. Are we absorbing demon power? Her appearance softened, became more and more human. Whatever essence was tainting her seemed to be draining away. And instead, that same essence. So this was also an option. Elowen muttered to herself, so softly that the exiled princess did not hear. Then she spoke louder. "Cassidy."
"Yes?"
"Shall I help you wreak your vengeance?" Oh my god, yes.
"Can you?"
"Yes, but you must stay with me. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, but you must stay with me, damned as we may become."
I would gladly walk through the flames of hell at your side, revenge or no."
It was all Elowen needed to hear, a declaration of love in its own right. She allowed her essence to flow freely now into Cassidy. The pair together began to change form, growing more monstrous, more powerful. Do we get to see this? The soldiers did not stand a chance against their combined might. "Do you wish to kill him yourself, dear heart? It is perhaps your duty." On either side of them lie mounds of corpses, but in front lay the greatest prize, King Alexander himself.
"No, it's all right, Elowen."
Alexander, in his terror, could not utter a single sound.
"I am better than him. Go. Never come here again. As of today, you no longer have a sister, and I no longer have a brother."
And so the king returned, broken and stumbling, to his kingdom. He would never forget, though none believed him. Even on his deathbed, he continued babbling of beautiful demons. As for Cassidy and Elowen... Oh, that's so cute!
Goodness, I have no idea how your hair gets so tangled.
Oh, that's so cute! It is the wind, my love. Oh my god, I got spooked by my own chair. I was like, what the fuck is that beside me?
Is that so? We shall have to teach it a lesson.
Oh, this is so cute! What the heck? Demons though we may be, I do not believe we can do anything to the wind.
Not with that attitude, dear one.
Decades passed, yet the two of them remained unchanged. It was a freedom, a power that Cassidy had never known. Every day there was more to discover, more delights to find. Most of all, the pair enjoyed learning more about each other.
Cassidy. Hmm? What is it? Do you... I love you.
How do you know I was asking that? Perhaps I was about to ask what you wish to do tomorrow.
You most certainly were not. It's all right. I'll tell you as many times as you'd like.
Otherwin settled into peaceful happiness, leaning against her beloved. She was utterly secure of Cassidy's feelings, but never tired of hearing about them. And even now, without a doubt, those two are still there, living happily ever after. Oh, okay. United in love, sharing their hate. These demons live on, laughing at fate. Together we are eternal. End. Wow, okay. I think that's the best ending. Yeah, we still got a few more to go. The princess's fury transforms her into the demon and forges her path forward. Elowin, in a monstrous form, appears to warn Cassidy. Cassidy recognizes her love but cannot believe her words. Alexander cannot possibly try to kill her. But as Elowin reveals to her the truth, Cassidy is overwhelmed with anger. Absorbing the demonic energy from Elowin, Cassidy strikes and together they kill all the soldiers. They let a terrified Alexander go, Cassidy declaring that they are no longer kin. Together they spend the rest of their days in the forest as demons, living happily ever after. I think that's the best ending! But you can tell we still got 5 more to go. So we got... I mean, that was really cute. We become demonesses and we become lesbian demonesses in a forest together? Bitch, that's my life! Alright. Unfortunately, this means we have to now get the other endings. Okay. Oh. Now we're gonna go with the bottom choices. Excuse me. Okay.
It's clear to me that you know nothing of politics. How can you level such accusations against the one who saved my life?
Man, I can't believe I got the best ending my 3rd time. Alright, I'm gonna save here. I'm gonna save there. And I'm still gonna pick this option?
Perhaps my brother finally understands just how much I miss him. Perhaps Elowen was right too.
Cassidy was sitting on the divan, enjoying a warm cup of tea as she read the latest book her brother had sent her. Whoops. It was a darker tale than she was accustomed to, the tale of a tragic young mermaid. It seemed to be a fairy tale from a faraway land. Certainly Veromir had simpler, happier stories. Or perhaps those were the only ones she had been allowed to learn.
Goodness, every step she takes feels like walking upon knives?
Oh, this sounds like The Little Mermaid.
How dreadful! How could this author be so terribly cruel?
Well, that's how he was back then.
Perhaps that is what ails Elowen. No, that would be ridiculous.
Suddenly, the front door to the cottage swung open, without knock or warning. Cassidy dropped her book in alarm. There was something dreadful standing in the doorway.
A monster.
Cassidy muttered this under her breath, overcome by fear and awe. It is not safe here. Yet no matter the appearance, Cassidy would never mistake that voice. Melodious, she had found it not long ago. Beautiful, she had thought its bearer until this very moment. She would be hard-pressed to describe Elowen as beautiful now.
What did you say?
There is a large army approaching from the east. They wear your colors.
Alexander.
Cassidy could not help but gasp. The monster nodded. I am afraid so. You must away with me. Cassidy bit her lip.
Alexander would not harm me. If anything, they must be here to protect me. From this monster!
Oh, shit.
Yes, of course.
Quickly grasping the situation, the ex-princess calmed herself and tapped into her many years of diplomacy lessons.
I will come right away.
Then...
Would you mind waiting for me outside? I will gather my things quickly.
Yes.
I won't be but a moment.
Of course. Wow, we're fucking setting her up. The monster turned and left through the still open door, its movements slow and measured as always. As soon as Elowen was outside, Cassidy flew forward and slammed the door shut. Cassidy? Ignoring Elowen's sad, feeble voice, Cassidy locked and bolted the door. For good measure, she dragged the divan in front of it. The door shook as Elowen tried to enter, but would not give way. Why?
How could I possibly heed the words of a monster? Who knows what you will do to me once you have me outside? She must be a demon, here to corrupt me. It is just as Alexander said to the barons. I allowed your beauty, your charm to corrupt me. I have sinned, but I will sin no longer.
Why?
Begone, monster! Darken my doorstep no more!
Elowen said nothing in reply. But then, wordlessly, the monster ambled towards the windows.
Oh no! I didn't think about blocking those!
But the monster made no move to enter forcefully. It just stood there with the same blank look on its face. In some ways, Cassidy felt that was worse. Had Elowen moved just enough to follow her words to the letter, to darken the doorstep no more? It seemed like something she might do. The thought made Cassidy's heart ache ever so slightly. And the night passed like that, with Cassidy pressed against the door in fear, and Elowen standing in place, still as a tree. Wow. Watching. Eventually, after what felt like a lifetime, the sun rose.
It's finally morning. If the army truly is coming, I wish they'd get here sooner.
The day breaks. Cassidy looked to the window in alarm. Could it be that Elowen hadn't slept either? Elowen stood there still, looking even more haggard than she had the night before. The monster's gaze was unfocused. It seemed not to be looking at Cassidy, but rather through her. I have failed. I could not understand the most important thing. I could not convey my love without a voice. Title drop.
And so this wisteria must wither in the harsh light of seventh day past. Before Cassidy's eyes, Elowen crumbled into wilted wisteria petals and dust.
Oh, wow.
The monster, the woman, was no more. Deep in the wood, a wisteria tree once adored by a maiden withered and died away as well.
Wow.
When bargain is struck, its terms must be met. Else take on your fate, and more suffering beget. Ash to ash, end.
Okay.
Ash to ash. The princess cannot save the demon from her curse. Elowen tries to warn Cassidy, but frightened and suspicious of the world around her, Cassidy locks Elowen outside and awaits rescue. Elowen watches, and in the morning her time runs out. She fades in the wisteria petals and disappears into the wind.
Alright, we still got 2 more. Alright, I'm gonna load that save up.
Alright, let's try this.
Okay, I'm gonna save here. Well, actually, I shouldn't. Okay, so that pretty much just leads you into the same thing. Okay. Alright, let's try this one.
She knew the truth, perhaps, yet she was afraid to accept it. Without her love for her brother, her loyalty to her kingdom, she was nothing. Alexander, I trust that you will do what's best for me and for Veromir. I will await your decision. She could not think of Elowen, however, without feeling a twinge of guilt. She let out a long sigh.
Oh my god, again with this ending? Okay. Alright, let's start loading up our previous saves here. Alright, we already seen that. Okay. Well, this is gonna be interesting.
How to get these 4 endings.
Again? Okay. Am I gonna have to look it up on my phone here? Alright, I'm gonna look up to see if I can, how to get the other endings. Just so we're not sitting here, like, watching me just die. We got that in, that in. Alright. Got a guide. Let's just begin.
Damn it, I keep doing that.
so let's see, how can that be? She must love trees. Perhaps she was joking. It's not like that. I want him to see me at my very best. I suppose she's already eaten. She had her reasons. Wait, go back? Okay. How thoughtful. How do you know so much? Perhaps she cannot say.
I hope she's all right.
Yes. I wonder if she's there. Elowen is strange. Oh, that's a new choice. It's either Elowen cares for me or she's kind. Let's try kind, because that's a new choice. I will trust in you and wait. Alright. Cassidy was sitting at the divan, a warm cup of tea in hand as she reread Alexander's letter. His letters always gave her some comfort.
Oh!
The ex-princess presently recalled that an agent had delivered another letter to her earlier.
I was so lost in my thoughts that I completely forgot. How silly of me.
Cassidy. Cassidy froze. Could it be? She looked up to see who had addressed her. Oh, she's normal.
Elowen.
There's a large army approaching. They are very nearly here.
An army?
Cassidy giggled, shaking off her nervousness.
There must be a training exercise, or a war in a neighboring country.
They wear your colors. Did your brother mention nothing in his letters?
No, nothing. But there's nothing to fear. If they wear my kingdom's colors, as you say, surely they're here to aid me.
Fully armed?
Yes. My brother loves me, you see.
Cassidy's voice shook as she desperately tried to convince both Elowen and herself. She was worthy of love, of her brother's love, and... You will not come with me. It was a question, phrased as an absolute. Elowen already knew the answer.
I have no reason to. I have everything I need right here.
Then she heard it. The awful sound of steel boots trampling the flowers. The forest. She, who had been present for any number of military training exercises, could not mistake the sound of an army's march. But even Cassidy could not have predicted who would be leading them.
Ah.
Oh, that's him? The first emotion she felt was pure joy. She was happy to see her brother once more.
I thought we could never meet again, but here he is.
Alexander's eyes flicked over to Elowen. Without even attempting to mask it, he looked her over from head to toe. He did not look at all pleased. You are continually surprising me, sister.
Sent into exile, and yet you continue to repeat your same sins. No, you're mistaken. I believe not. I trusted you once. You could have told me anything and I would have believed. But you have chosen to repay my love with dishonor time and time again. You are a danger to our kingdom, an exploitable weakness. Worse, you are a sinner of the highest order.
Because God forbid you sleep with a woman.
Alexander! Tempt me not into sin. I am deaf to your honeyed words. As your brother, as the one who entered this world with you, it falls to me to remove you from it. This is the last act of my love. No! Eowyn reacted faster. With superhuman speed, she rushed in front of Cassidy to shield her from her brother's sword. But despite his delicate looks, Alexander was skilled with the blade. All Eowyn's attempt earned her was the privilege of being impaled, at the same time as the former princess. The sword pierced through them both.
Wow.
As her consciousness faded, Cassidy watched Eowyn's body dissolve into dust and withered petals. Wisteria petals. So you tempted even a forest spirit with your salacious ways.
I was right.
But such demons do not have souls. She cannot follow you. Worry not, dear sister. One day I will join you, and we shall never be parted again. She could not tell if what she felt was despair or ecstasy. They say that love is blind, yet clearly I saw you. You said that you loved me, but that was never true. So it would seem, my dear, that blind love is deaf too. Too late into your arms. End.
Let's see how that ending looks.
The princess waits for her rescue, but the prince isn't here to save her. Eowyn warns Cassidy the army drawing near her, but why would her kingdom be a danger to her? She dismisses Eowyn's words, which when Alexander arrives, betrayed and furious. He stabs at Eowyn, who rushes in to protect Cassidy, but the blade only pierces them both. Cassidy will await her brother in the afterlife.
Alright, now for the other endings. Damn, Alexander looks like a punk-ass bitch. Alright.
That is highly suspect. Bad experience. Not necessary. Excuse me. I want Alexander to see me at my best. I wonder why she does not eat. What a shock that was.
Whatever her reasoning, it was not right for her to react so. She doesn't know Alexander, and so she wouldn't understand him. But I do.
How thoughtful. Suddenly, Cassidy heard a rustling nearby. She looked up from her letter and saw Eowyn standing a few feet away.
Well, you were somewhat harsh, you know, but regardless, I'm sorry.
Are you sure? Why the hesitation? Oh, when evening fell, Cassidy decided to go on a walk. It felt stifling somehow to stay at home alone after the night she and Eowyn had shared.
Some exposure to nature will do me good. It will not do well to dwell on my thoughts for too long. They're too liable to grow dark. Of course, part of her held out hope that she'd run into Elowen again. Cassidy shut the door on her cottage and stepped out into the forest. It would be nice to show Alexander this view. Then again, there's no reason why you would come here, is there? At least now I have Elowen's company to look forward to.
Suddenly, Cassidy felt a sharp pain in her back.
What?
Then she felt her body start to crumple.
How strange. Why can I not remain standing?
Damn. As she fell to the ground, she craned her neck just enough to see the arrow protruding from her back.
Ah.
And in the clearing just behind her, an archer, one who bore the colors of Varamir. Your king sends his regards to his whore of a sister who only played him false and toyed with his feelings. Wow, whore of a sister? Shit. She had no time to process these hissed words.
Alexander. Elowen.
A sister loved her brother, but there were flowers she loved more. Her brother loved the notion of her, but he was jealous to his core. The shadows grasp, and... Damn! That did not last very long. 2 more endings. Even if the princess loved the prince, it wasn't enough. On an evening stroll in the forest, Cassidy is shot by archers from the kingdom, sent by her jealous brother Alexander, who's caught word of her time with Elowen. Damn. Alright. 2 more endings, and then we'll be done. How can that be? She must love trees. Perhaps Elowen was joking. It's not like that. I want Alexander to see me at my best. She's already eaten. She has her reasons. How thoughtful. Are you sure? Why the hesitation? No. Elowen is like that tree. Does it not matter what I do here? I'm gonna save just in case. Did you ever truly love me? Again? Huh, that's interesting. Load. Okay, there we go. And the rest of the story was lost to time. The King Alexander completely erased his story, his sister from history. Wait. Okay.
And what of the maiden Elowen? It would forever remain a mystery.
Oh, okay, so that's how it ends.
Perhaps you too will soon forget.
Oh, that's an ending?
A story unfinished. What of the rest of the story? It has been lost to time. Perhaps if you make different choices, you will find an ending to this tale.
Alright, okay, so we got one more ending.
Then after that, we basically... Let's see. How can that be? She must love trees. Perhaps she was joking. It's not like that. I want him to see me at my best. I suppose she's already eaten. I'm sure she had her reasons. How thoughtful. How do you know so much? Perhaps she cannot say. No. I wonder if she's there. She's strange. She cares for me. And did you ever truly love me?
Oh!
Cassidy awoke suddenly from an impromptu nap, and that's the end of the choices. That's good, though. Didn't take us that long.
She frowned at the book in her lap, still open to the boring page she had left off on.
I can hardly recall what the book is about. How unlike me.
Yet she knew the reason. She was still distracted by thoughts of Elowen.
It's evening now. I wonder, if I go into the forest now, might I...
The front door suddenly burst open. Please pardon my intrusion. There is an army approaching. I do not like the look of them, and I fear for your safety. Despite her strange appearance, Cassidy knew it was Elowen immediately. Those piercing golden eyes, that long hair. She was alarmed, yes, confused, but the concern that was clear in Elowen's face overtook any other questions she might have.
She looks different, but that is her. Those eyes, there must be some real danger. Surely there's some reason for the way she looks. I'm certain she'll tell me. But for now... Alright, what should we do?
We?
Yes, you are with me, are you not?
You believe what I say?
I do. I trust you wholeheartedly.
Do you... Elowen's breath seemed to hitch, most probably from the fear she felt. That nervousness permeated her entire being. Cassidy noticed this, and having noticed, there was no way that Cassidy could fear Elowen, no matter how she appeared. Do you love me? It was not the response Cassidy expected. But deep down, she knew that this was no time to hesitate, to demur. Cassidy looked Elowen straight in the eye.
Yes, I love you.
It was important that Elowen know that.
Wow, we actually get some... Oh, okay.
I see.
And so the frog has turned back into a dashing prince?
Cassidy smiled warmly. Now, will you finally tell me what is going on? Oh, the army. No, not that. About you. Yes, you deserve an explanation. I was, until but a few days ago, a wisteria tree, the same one you often visited. I have lived in this forest for hundreds of years, mostly alone. At some point, I developed a spirit. I was able to observe the beings that passed through my life. Many humans came and went. I was lonely, but I was alright with the way things were. I was a tree, they were not. I was not to interfere in their lives. What changed? You. You and your silly ranting, your singing, your awkward couplets, that sad look you got in your eyes as you gazed at the horizon. I was smitten.
Even after you realized that I wasn't so dainty as you believed?
Yes. Perhaps I came to love you even more for all your flaws, though I do not see them as such. I had to speak with you. I had to become human and be with you. I was consumed by that wish. And then one night, a little voice whispered to me, "Will you strike a bargain with me? If you fulfill the conditions, you can become human."
Who was it that whispered to you?
I'm not sure. A god, perhaps, or a demon. It mattered not. I took the bargain. I was given 7 days. In 7 days, if you fell in love with me, I would become like you. But in that time, I was neither tree nor human. I was not given human emotions. My human-like legs caused me great pain. With each step, it felt as if I was treading upon knife points. And every morning, I needed to take in the purest of sunlight to survive.
Ah, that's why I never saw you in the morning.
Yes. Cassidy was tempted to ask Elowyn more, especially about the other side of the bargain. What would have happened had Elowyn failed?
Death.
But there was something in the way Elowyn skirted that topic that told Cassidy not to ask. Perhaps it was better that she not hear.
One day, when Elowyn is ready, no doubt she will tell all to me. But there's something else still to consider now. Oh, you said that there's an army approaching.
Yes, the morning after I spent the night with you. Suddenly, Cassidy too was embarrassed.
Oh my god.
That morning, as I was leaving, I noticed a man crouched outside your cottage looking in.
Oh, okay, that's how they found out.
Ah, he must have been one of my brother's agents. This does not bode well. I'm not certain that my brother would act so quickly, but the barons... Perhaps in their eyes, I have outlived my usefulness as a political pawn. These soldiers may be coming to bring me back to the castle, by force if necessary. Oh dear.
You do wish to return home, do you not? Cassidy laughed in self-derision.
Had you asked me that a week ago, I undoubtedly would have said yes. However, I cannot return to Veromir. There's no Elowyn there. Alexander would never allow you to come. I fear we would never meet again.
Cassidy. It was the first time Elowyn had said her name. Cassidy did not let that escape her notice.
I will not go, Elowyn. I do not want to be without you.
Elowyn nodded. All right. Then there is only one thing we can do. She explained her plan to Cassidy, who accepted it with a few adjustments. The soldiers arrived the next day to a frightful scene. In front of the house, Cassidy lay sprawled on the ground.
Oh, we're gonna fake my death.
There was blood everywhere, a knife protruding from her abdomen. A group of soldiers inspected the body, leaning in for a closer look.
What is the meaning of this?
The princess is dead.
No doubt off by the lover we heard about. The harlot deserved no better. Still, I do not envy the man who tells King Alexander the news.
They proceeded to argue over whether or not to bury the body, ultimately deciding that it was well above any of their pay grades. Once their investigation was complete, they left the place.
I knew it. She was faking her death.
Cassidy inhaled the biggest gulp of air of her life. That was close! I thought my heart would stop! She heard Elowen laugh from nearby. It's not funny! I never dreamed they would get so close! Still, it's good that they did. Now there can be no doubt in their minds that you are deceased. The only question is, what shall we do if they come back?
Become demons and murder them?
That is precisely why we must now enact Phase 2 of my plan.
Your plan?
Come now, let's not split hairs. Phase 2 is entirely my idea. Of course, as I have not heard of it. Phase 2. We go on a trip. A trip? Yes, you've never been anywhere but this forest, correct?
Well, that is true.
Wouldn't you like to see the world with me? And once we've had our fill, we can return here. I'm sure after enough time has gone by, they will be fully convinced of my death. There will be no reason for my brother's agents to return, and we can live here in peace.
Yes. Yes, I must say that sounds absolutely lovely.
Cassidy took Elowen's hand in hers. Elowen, you know, all my life I only did as my parents wanted, and as Alexander wanted. I had resolved myself to being trapped here forever. Yet now I'm able to do as I wish. It is all thanks to you.
You are mistaken. If not for you, I would still be a tree. It is I who must thank you.
If we can argue about who is more grateful to have met whom, I believe we are happy indeed.
Yes. Yes, you are right, my dear. So the two ladies set out on a grand adventure. They journeyed to distant lands and saw many new things, met many new people. It was the trip of a lifetime. And once they found themselves sated of the world and their travels were through.
Are you quite sure that the recipe calls for these small peppers? I do not recall such a thing.
Yes! Domestic! I am sure, my love. You can make as many adorable noises as you want. I shall not relent. One day you will have to get used to eating dishes with some spice. And no saying only a kiss from you can relieve my sore tongue either.
I would never!
Oh, domestic wives! Though she was quite sure that she had. At least once or twice. Perhaps the two of them are still there now. Living happily ever after. Oh, though we may journey many miles, I know well where my true home lies. By your side where I remain, to watch with you every sunrise. Oh, that's a lovely, truly free end. And with that, we're still only 96% of the way complete? What's this? What is this? When was this? Oh, is this like maybe like wallpaper? If so, that's great. Yeah, this is, what does it say? Oh. What is this resolution? Okay. And we got all the music! Endings! Truly free. The princess loves the demon and fulfills the terms of her curse. Human facade breaking away to reveal monstrous appearance, Elowen appears in front of Cassidy to warn her of the intruders. Cassidy recognizes her love and affirms it, and Elowen's curse is broken to reveal her human form. Together they outwit Alexander and his army, and travel for years. At the end of the journey, they return home and live happily ever after. Aww. Alright, let's read the characters now. Cassidy. Cassidy, the protagonist, an exiled princess and the eldest child of the Varomir royal family. Cassidy is nice, but rather clueless, and struggles to live on her own due to her pampered upbringing. In terms of the original motif that Without a Voice is based on, Cassidy is technically the human prince for whom Elowen trades away her voice. Not quite princely, huh? I love Cassidy very, very much, and I treasure her pretty dearly. She's also been my avatar since development on Without a Voice started, so 3 years? I think I'm really going to miss her once this game is out. She's very expressive, like an open book, and has a certain charm to her that no one can resist. She's quite popular, with her brother, all her handmaidens, Elowen, and me included. Maybe a bit too popular for her own good. In 2 of the endings, she finds her true love in her happy ending, though. In Good End 1, I wanted to emphasize the more human ways that she's adopted with Elowen. Domestic life, cooking, simple, humble clothing are a few examples of this. I think Ponytail Cassidy is really cute, and I love drawing their alternate outfits. This is from Lanessa, whatever. Now for Elowen. Wow, this is a long thing. Elowen. The mysterious beauty who appears before Cassidy one day. While at a glance she is graceful and beautiful in an otherworldly way, she is also quick to anger and rather self-centered. Sometimes she becomes quiet and a little gloomy when staring out at the woods outside of the cottage windows. Our little mermaid. At first glance, she's not as naive and sweet as Cassidy, but the more you get to know her, the more that side of her shows. She became so infatuated as a tree, not realizing how much of an airhead Cassidy could be, that she gambled with her life. Though, to be fair, trees don't have brains, nor blood, so... Elowen is really quite mysterious. Even when scripting her expressions, I struggled to pinpoint what emotions she would have at any given moment. Is she saying this sincerely? Is it a joke? Is she actually angry? That being said, I hope that after you finish all the endings, you can go back and hear her true voice. When I got the CG list to draw, I was so excited to get started on Good End 2. Originally, the CG for this featured Elowen's demon form that you see throughout the game. You can see this original version in the Without a Voice art book. When I was updating the art assets, though, I decided that I wanted to give her a totally new look that showed that she was a part of nature and not fighting against it. I hope you like Cassidy's alternate form too, Lanessa. Well, at least we got all the endings. We got wives living domestic lives, and we got demonesses living together in the woods. I don't know which one I like better. I mean, seriously, you cannot tell me... Oh, that's cool, I like that. Like, you cannot tell me that this is... Like, I don't know which is better, like, this is pretty sweet here, too. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the domestic life. Don't get me wrong, like, I love the domestic life that these two have, but I'm like, fuck! I don't know which one I like better! I don't know if I like the I don't know. But I do like this wallpaper. It's like... I like this wallpaper. Fuck. So that was Without a Voice. I guess from what I was saying, it's supposed to be based off of The Little Mermaid? But with a... well, obviously with a lesbian twist, but also, like, with a, like, the mermaid is a tree spirit? But still, I was right when I said she was a tree. I am actually really happy that I guessed that, just like, I guessed that she was a tree. Oh, man. I don't know which ending I like better, though. But, overall, that was a pretty nice game. Of course, we didn't even get half the endings by ourselves. We did get at least like the second of the good endings, where they determined the DMSs on our own. But overall, this was a really nice game. It was short, but then again, you know, I think like with multiple endings and you trying to figure out like which choices are which, I think the shortness really kind of helped it. But yeah, this was a nice game. I love the art. It was very like vibrant and nice and cute, and it's like, and in terms of the romance, it was very cute. I mean, but then again, I was so starved for women loving women content that I think I would have taken anything. But, it's interesting the fact that, they say that, like, there is, like, maybe, like, because, okay, the incest and the codependency, I'm wondering if that was just too subtle for me to really pick up on. Which I'm not blaming the writers for. I'm like, I'm autistic, I can't read subtlety for shit. Unless it's blatant. But yeah. I kind of wonder if, like, these developers are gonna make another game, like this. Like, maybe take another famous fairy tale and turn it into a lesbian love story. But yeah, that was Without a Voice. I hope everyone enjoyed it. So what is gonna be the next thing after this? Obviously, Your Turn to Die. I just wanted to get this as a refresher. But, in terms of when I'll be streaming next, every time I say that I'm gonna stream this definitively, I never do it. So I'm not gonna give myself a definitive, answer. But I do know that the next game I'm gonna get is Your Turn to Die, which is gonna be interesting because it's supposed to be Danganronpa-esque. Well, I guess I should say it's supposed to be a cross between Danganronpa and Zero Escape, one of which I played / watched, the other not so much. But, yeah. So, I hope everyone enjoyed this nice little stream. And by the way, we only got like a little bit of lag. The stream didn't drop once, which is fucking amazing. But yeah. So, hope you all enjoyed this little game of two girls falling in love and either becoming human domestic wives or becoming demon tree spirits and living together in harmony with nature. Anyway, I hope to see you all again at the next stream for Your Turn to Die, Chapter 1. So, have a good night and stay safe.